Humpty was a giant Eggman?
I don't know.
Because there's nothing in the actual rhyme. There's no actually, it's not Humpty Dumpty,
it's not,
the Eggman's on the wall.
I don't know. My concern is more I mean, his parents were a little bit cruel, because if you are the Dumpties of, say, Surrey, don't call your firstborn Humpty.
Yeah.
Because straight away, it's going to be embarrassing for him at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what it... I'm just saying, I'm trying to go, is that it as well?
That's all of it.
Oh,
and also, I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know it's a children's
Is it like an Edward Lear thing, or... That's before that, is it?
But I don't mean to be pedantic again, but if you've got a giant Eggman and he's fallen into bits, you know... All the King's men, fine, they're there, they can piece that together again. Don't send horses in.
No, because
that's just a whole eggy, horsey mess.
They're going to make it worse.
They're just going to be standing on it.
They are going to make it worse.
It's not
just standing on it, get the horse out of the way. No, he's definitely not.
But again, maybe I'm sure some of the, the mental people...
Is it pre-Lewis Carroll or... If it's Lewis Carroll, it just came with the illustration.
I guess so.
He gave it to someone to illustrate. Go, illustrate Humpty Dumpty. He goes, we've made him an egg.
Yeah, a sort of egg with eyes and a face.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose because the moral of that is if you're fragile, if you're an enormous egg,
Mr. Dumpty, I'll get down from the wall. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, there'll be no medical...
way to happen.
Yeah.
Frankly.
I don't know, Carl. What was your favourite nursery rhyme when you were growing up?
Didn't really do that much reading as a kid.
Are you joking?
You surprised me.
Are you joking?
What's the one with, loads of people in a bed? What's that one?
Oh, there was one in the bed and the little one said, roll over. Yeah.
No, because that's not really even got a story to it, is it? That's just...
hold on, though. I'll stop you there. It doesn't even say people. It says there was 10 in the bed and the little one... Little what? They could be anything. I don't know what they are. Roll over, and they all rolled over and one fell out. There was 9 in the bed and the little one said, roll over.
Now, where is the little one in the bed?
I don't know, but worse than that... What has he got over the other 9?
That he can demand they roll out the bed.
And why is no one getting back in?
Yeah, they're just lying on the floor.
We're here now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How does that end as well? Where's that going?
It goes on, there was one in the bed, and the little one said, again, he just says, presumably he's telling himself to roll over.
Yeah.
There was one in the bed, there was a roll over. So he rolled over, and one fell out, that's him.
That's him.
There was none in the bed, and the little one said, roll over. So now he's calling the shots, presumably laying on the pile of other...
They're just still rolling around.
I don't know, Carl. We've got to look into this. If anyone knows why Dumpty was an egg, if Hubbard eventually found a dog a bone, and what was the little one doing? What did the little one think he was doing, for God's sake?
When I saw my dad last year, he was telling me about a fella who's got some clothes you can see through. What's that one?
You don't mean the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah, what's that one about?
Well, that's a genuinely good little parable, that.
Yeah, because it's now used for people who are scared to sort of slag something off because it's sort of like really cool and they don't want to be the one that shouts it, and then one person goes, hold on,
very briefly, Carl, very briefly, the king wants some new clothes, right? He's the king, he goes, who's going to make me some new clothes? Various people come to me and says, I don't like that, it's not interesting enough. One guy, who's just a bit of a con artist, he comes along, he goes, I've made you this magic suit, look, and it's nothing. He goes, put it on, the king puts on nothing, because there is nothing, but thinks there's something, because, he wants to buy into it and everything.
And he goes, it's the finest stitching, he goes, look at it, can you see it? No, they ask that only a genius can see how good this suit is, and the king goes, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah. It's great. And he goes out, and just, is it a woman or a little kid?
Well, everyone's applauding it, they're going, you look great, even though his tackle's hanging out, he's nothing.
Even though he's got a king-size, sort of like, bit of meat and 2 veg, wobbling, dragging down the street.
Exactly. And then one little boy goes, he's not wearing anything.
The king is in the Altogether. Know that one?
So, well, did anyone else buy one? Or was...
Okay, play a record.
Play a record, Carl.
Play a record.
Carl, just play a song.
Jesus. Travis, writing to reach you on XFM 104.9, alright?
A couple of emails here, try and respond to our requests for nursery rhyme related information.
Oh, go on.
Nikki Williams says that she was at infant school and she had a nursery rhyme book, and in the book, and this may just be the illustrations, but apparently the 10 in the bed in there were small baby monkeys, which you'll be loving, Carl. But again, I suspect that might just be the illustration that accompanied
I remember I had a book of nursery rhymes when I was little, and my brother, it was older than me, I was about 5, so he was about 16. I remember him and his mate just absolutely cracking up, because it said, up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bandaged his knob.
Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, He Wants You.
Brilliant.
XFM.
Yeah. So, Carl, off you go.
Well, we're not going to do Freak of the Week here,
Okay.
right? Because we've done quite a bit of that in the last 20 minutes, right?
We've
So we'll
OD'd
move
on
that.
freaks, you think?
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll just shift it a little bit.
Okay.
And I don't like to keep saying, don't want people to be thinking we're sort of taking the mick out of anyone,
No.
right? Because we're not about that. I feel like I can do a little bit of it because I work with you, Steve.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
It gives me that right.
It's like a care worker. Yeah, I understand.
Well, it's like that thing of you can't be homophobic because I've got a couple of gay mates and
Sure,
stuff.
sure.
I think sort of gives me that edge,
Yeah.
right? So
you're not freakophobic because you work with Steve?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I think...
by that token, I should be able to sort of slag off, the mentally ill.
What do you
Or
mean?
at least mentally handicapped.
Now, there's a term you don't hear
Seems
very
kinda
often.
light for a machine.
In
What kind of rounds
2003,
it take?
there was a mentally...
The mentally handicapped. Isn't that what it was?
Oh, I don't know where to start.
But I mean,
I'd like to
something-
apologise for the Lady Diana stuff, the term mentally handicapped, and any inadvertent racism that we may have stumbled
What's
over.
the actual term then? Is it retarded?
Right.
Right, come on now. But yeah, that's all I was thinking with the Freak of the Week this week. That's what I'm saying about Freak of the Week. It's to get people thinking, right? Thinking how lucky they are that they don't have to.
Comb their face. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Freak of the week is to let people know how lucky they are.
Just
What about the little freak you're talking about? What are they thinking? They're going, oh, he's talking about me. I'm a little hairy lizard man on a stick.
Did you?
pop in, give us a call. About
Ask me how.
That's
Looks
what
like
I'd
we
like
all
to do
just got
on a
fresh
TV program.
ammunition.
That's what I want to do. I want to go and meet these people and say, right, let's just go shopping. Let's we'll film what your normal day's like.
Yeah.
Let's pop out, nip into Sainsbury's or whatever.
Damn. Hope it works a whole
and buy
lot
a
better than
comb.
it tastes.
Post park right up close to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So what you're saying is you just want to get a little message out there, which is that there's always someone worse off than you.
Well, there's proof of that in this room. You know what I mean?
Oh, Carl, when's your train?
In a minute, I'm going to get going now. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Carl.
Brilliant. What are you planning to play a song?
Kirsten McCall.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Well, there's the darkness. They believe in a thing called love. Carl, do you? This is XFM 104.9. That is my favourite band at the moment.
You love them?
I absolutely love them. I think they're funny. I think they're straight down the line with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. Ah, brilliant. See them on Jules Holland
I
last
didn't
night?
sadly know.
Brilliant.
Were they good?
Yeah, absolutely jump. Oh, I mean, Jules didn't know what to do.
was he playing some Boogie Woogie?
They wouldn't let him play Boogie Woogie over their
Blimey.
song. That's what I mean. That's why he stayed back. But
I can't imagine it was very good.
he shook the.
I'm
it was-
surprised you say they were good.
It was
Jules
no,
wasn't tinkling
I mean,
the old
I thought, hold on, this is missing something.
Yeah.
This is missing someone from Squeeze vamping over.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
they did well without
like
him.
camouflage.
Yeah.
They don't see it
There we
so
are.
well.
We're back. XFM 104.9. Carl had to leave early last week, but you stay to the end this week, mate? Or yeah.
You don't need another holiday.
Oh, he started already.
I mean, you
Steve's
know.
made you look like a bit of a twat already, and it's
No.
only 1:05.
But the only reason you don't go on holiday is because you have to spend money.
Oh, and he's gone straight back.
Wow.
He's gone straight.
I can't come back to that.
Oh, dear.
it's just dynamite. It's just absolute. That was.
Well,
searing.
last
You cut
holiday,
the chase.
last holiday Steve had, he sort of found a third world country so he could live like a king for a week. It was Cuba, wasn't it?
Going to Cuba, amazing. We can almost rule the place. If it weren't for Castro, I'd have been in charge. Kind of cash I was flashing around. I mean, they'll do anything for $1 over there. It's extraordinary, literally. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
Definitely. And I went to Kenya before that.
So he thought to the prostitute, said no. You were going.
Yeah, well, it was $2. I mean, I'm not made of money.
Do you have a good holiday, Carl?
Yeah, it was all right. It's all right. Went down to Cornwall.
Now
Tell
you're
you
going
what,
to the
some
monkey
odd
centre.
people down there, Steve.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not from Cornwall.
Well, you're from that sort of area.
Well, not really, but never mind.
Genetically, he means.
Right.
You're weird.
Well, you must have slotted right in.
What are they weird? What do they look like?
Just all sort of odd people.
violent
Not old people, but not just old, sort of messed up old.
What do you mean messed up old? It's just got, you can't just say that. There's
There was a woman with a funny neck.
Okay, in what way was it funny?
Why did she have a funny neck? If you're writing an essay, you wouldn't say there's this one with a funny neck. How would you describe it?
She sort of had her head like pointed down all the time. Like that.
Don't do it. It's his radio.
No, but just for you, I did like that.
Yeah.
Walking about like that.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So brilliant.
I don't know. I was saying to Susan, I'm not what happened. You know, what do you think?
Because Suzanne knows everything. That's the good thing about her being with you. You just ask her what happened to her, and Suzanne goes, "Carl, I don't know. I haven't been here before."
Suzanne, your girlfriend, or mummy as you call her.
Oh, sparks are flying.
Flicking through, 'cause there's always interesting stuff in there. There was something about swingers.
Right.
I was like, what's all that about?
Yeah.
And it had an interview with some people talking about, you know, how they sleep about a bit.
Yeah.
And I thought, if my wife looked like that, I probably would. Because there was a few pictures of them, and they were all pretty ugly.
Yes.
I thought, right. So I took that in, soaked that up, thought, there you go. Carried on reading. There was a bit in there about how women still have crushes, right?
Yes.
And the woman was going on about how she's 38, right? But she still fancies Chris Martin from Coldplay. And, you know, even though it'll never happen, she's still got that little bit in her head that thinks one day she'll leave Gwyneth, right? And end up with her, right?
Right.
Anyway, so I'm thinking this is a bit boring, but I'm flicking through it all. And,
Is this a Rockbusters clue?
no, right? And I read further on, right? And she said, you know, I like to go out with my mates, and we come up with lists in pubs of people who like, oh, you know, they'd be nice to go out with. She also came up with a list of unlikely lust objects, I think she called them.
Yeah.
Guess who was in that list?
Ricky Gervais.
Think again.
Carl Pilkington.
Right. Next one.
Johnny Vegas.
Said, lanky co-writer.
Rubbish.
Lanky co-writer.
What do you mean lanky co-writer?
Well, I don't need to say anymore. He said,
Hang on, wait a minute. Let's not talk about... I don't know what you're laughing at my expense. I'm an unlikely lust object.
yeah,
But yeah, what was it called? The list?
the unlikely lust object.
Yes.
You were in there. Right?
Who else was?
Well, you weren't in there.
Richard Madeley.
Fine.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Alistair Campbell.
Brilliant. Another handsome dude. What are you talking about? What, you think I'm ashamed or embarrassed about that? I'm proud of it. What magazine was it? I need to buy a couple of copies.
It was.
Need to get a t-shirt made.
Yeah, and did she leave her number?
Yeah. What magazine was it? Just out of interest.
I think it's called Red.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But now you've dissed those people that put themselves in their swingers because you've said they're ugly. So now we know what magazine it is. People are going to look at that. People are going to look at that poor woman, and they're going to know you think she's a hog.
No, but I think they even know.
Was there a picture of the woman who drawn up the list of unlikely lust objects? What was she like?
I wouldn't waste my time.
Thanks, mate. I know you're on my side.
Thrills on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant. Object of unlikely lust object. Steve Merchant.
I'd like to have that now, prefixing my name everywhere I'm written about.
Although, yeah. Did he make the freak list? Which is a different magazine, isn't it? And I'm joking, of course. Carl Pilkington, a man of sort of quiet dignity and in a way, he's got his own sort of inner beauty, hasn't he, Carl?
Not really.
Do you think?
Well, I'll tell you why I don't think it is, because the woman that wrote the piece saying that I was an unlikely lust object has just emailed in. And Carl, you've offended her quite considerably.
What did he say?
I wouldn't waste my time, is what you said. She's repeated
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I wouldn't waste my time, the flaming cheek. Although it's a horrible picture, I am, of course, in real life, a vision of loveliness. I'm not 38, I'm 25. I don't think Stephen's that unlikely lust object. A sense of humour is important, and he's welcome to my phone number if he wants it.
Is
A sense of humour is important. That's a
she a swinger?
Stop it!
Don't have a go at the woman.
I'm messing about. She knows I'm messing about.
Well, how are you messing about?
I've told you this though. I've told you that anyone could be listening, haven't I? I've told you that before. Things you say, and you, but we encourage him. We say, "What does she look like?" But it's meant to be rhetorical. That was a joke. That was Steve's joke. What does she look like? I.e., him joking, like, "Oh, I'll call her up because I'm on a list," and then you have to say that. I mean, that's what I mean. So chances are, if she likes Stephen, she hasn't seen him, she listens to the radio. So, the likelihood is that, she was listening to this show.
Yeah.
So, think.
Will I drop the thing I was going to do about Lisa Riley?
Well,
She's not listening.
Some people deserve it.
She's still at lunch.
What, from Tuesday? There's an all-you-can-eat place going out of business as we speak.
Oh, bloody hell, she's back. You killed me. I gotta do Bambino. Please leave now. Please leave. So,
No, but she knows I was only messing. This
everyone knows you're only messing. We're all only messing. I hope we don't offend anyone of, any kind out there. We're only joking, aren't we, Carl? Say something nice about her.
What can you remember of the picture that you could say was good? Maybe she was wearing some...
Wasn't anything, to be honest. I'll have another look and have a look. I think she had a nice shirt, honestly.
Get used to the heat, because you're gonna burn in hell.
Well, there's the best band in Britain, in my opinion.
Big words.
The Darkness, Growing on Me, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Carl Pilkington.
Have you got the album?
And already, they've had an argument.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know whether we need to cheapen the show by discussing it, but I asked for a particular track. Carl is the producer, and he failed to get it for me. He's failed to get it for me. He's failed to bring it up from the record library. Completely failed in his mission. He needed to get 2 records, and he failed to get one of them. A 50% error rate there.
Yeah, but like I said, I looked in the system. It told me what album it's on. I brought that album up. I'm busy.
But, okay, so fine. Fine, you're absolutely fine then. That's no problem. Once again, that's a great excuse, Carl. Brilliant. The show has been ruined. It's been partially ruined, but you've got a bit of an excuse.
All right. I didn't make a big deal out of it when you said, oh, and whilst you're down there, get us a new 50 Cent single.
I never said, why are you going to get the new 50 Cent single? I asked you if 50 Cent single was lying around.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been here, I wouldn't have worried.
So I get it, yeah. I did that for you.
Right.
And then I come up, you say, has it got swearing in it? Well, I don't know. It's 5 to 1, Steve. I haven't got time. I've been whizzing around.
You're the producer. It's the brand new single. I'd have thought it had been lying around in the XFM office anyway.
But I don't have time to sit around listening to music.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Right? I know that you have. Now you've got an iPod that can hold 7,500 songs. I don't know when you're going to get around to loading all them on, but I haven't got the time.
Sure.
Busy.
Yeah. Fine, okay. No, that's a perfect excuse, Carl. Well done, mate. I just hope that I never have to depend on you in a real emergency.
You don't seem to understand. I'm trained for
I had a bit of bad luck as well. I wanted to play REM, and maybe the listener can help me here. Can you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know what song I'm thinking of? It's an REM song. I think it's on the album of the last one before. And he says, Mulholland Drive, and I'm Steve McQueen. That's all I know. I'm sorry, I can't think of the title, so I need the title to look it up, if you know what I mean. I can't put in like that. I can't put in Mulholland Drive. The system goes, what are you talking about? So I need the actual title of the song to look it up to find it down in the library.
Oh, well, I'd go down yourself if you're going to go down to the library and get that. I would send Carl, because...
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
But if he wanted to, he did have time, because he came in at 12 rather than 5 to 1.
Yes. No, I told you about that record that I wanted it yesterday, didn't I? So you've had 24 hours notice. So that's not really an excuse, is it?
But I did find one of my favourite songs of all time, which is Bones off the Benz album, and it's radioed on XFM 104.9.
And there it is, because you gave me lots of time to find it. So
Sure. Yeah. Could have brought it in himself.
no swearing in it.
Oh, proper rock band. Best band since Thin Lizzy, The Darkness.
Oh, big words.
Growing on Me, XFM 104.9.
A bit rash, I think.
R. Gervais, S. Merchant,
this work like a
K.
flak
Pilkington.
jacket or something.
With a little bit of I know for a fact that Steve is getting a little bit sick of Carl's attitude.
Oh, his attitude's appalling.
I quite like it though, because it's straight away friction, and he's sort of like,
To be fair, I genuinely don't think I'm the culprit in this. I think I come in and I just ask him a simple request, and immediately on my back, whinging, moaning, whining. I don't know if there's any evidence.
Oh, it's funny you say that actually, because in a survey, it came up this week. It's quite extensive. Mancunians take more sick days than anyone else. Mancunians take more sick days than workers in any other city in Britain and Ireland, according to Manchester-based employment firm. Survey by Peninsula found employees in Manchester take 11 sick days per year, whereas closest rivals Edinburgh and Dublin take an average of 9. Liverpool, Newcastle, Birmingham, Cardiff only 8.
Is Reading mentioned there? Or
no, it's not even in there. They don't take days off. London is only 7. So the point is, I mean, I don't know, you can take anything from it, but if you were an employer and you had a Mancunian and a Liverpudlian and they were equal on everything else, but you really couldn't afford them to be away, Liverpudlian's going to probably be away for 8 days.
Sure.
The Manc's going to be away for 11, phoning in sick. And
So what can you, I mean, just
Well, it's the point
analysing
is
the data there, what would you extrapolate from that?
I really don't know. I mean, call in if you've got any clues, or email us in if you've got any. I don't know why they. I think maybe. I don't know. Mancunians.
I don't really know many people from Manchester.
Well, I only know one, but I know he was off sick because he put on wet trousers and he got.
You got a cold, I think.
Yeah, well, he just said he was. Didn't come in for. He left early as well once.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's the survey. I don't know. I mean, it's evidence because it's statistics. So there you go.
Guaranteed evidence that that's
So,
proof.
any thoughts on that? Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
I mean, you're from, oddly enough, you're from Manchester,
Yeah,
Carl.
I am, yeah,
What are your
funny,
thoughts on that?
On what? Sorry.
On the survey.
Oh, wasn't really listening.
Sure.
Well, Mancunians take off more sick days. They call in sick. I mean, presumably spuriously.
Yeah.
I mean, because they've got the same body. They're biologically the same. So.
They're obviously making up their life.
Yeah, some of the days. Maybe there's just the 3 extra they're making up.
Yeah, they're moaning.
Probably because we work a lot harder than the others, so we're tired, so you're sick, so you need time off. Probably.
Seems
Probably.
unlikely.
I mean, the Scousers, to be honest, yeah, take them on, let them work in your office. But you know how many computers are going to go missing?
Right, that
So offensive.
is offensive.
Right.
This is a survey that proved. You just made that up. You just carried on the myth that Liverpudlians thieve. Now that is just that's not true. That is not true.
Well.
Well, it's not.
Well, some of them do.
There's been no survey that you're more likely to thieve if you're from Liverpool than if you're a Manchester. So that hasn't been proven yet. So all I've got is the evidence from a survey of, I think, 3,500 people. It's proof that people, Mancunians, take off more sick days. XFM 104.9. This is April Come She Will by Simon and Garfunkel. Simon and
behind all
Garfunkel.
these magic
April Come
potions
She
too,
Will.
German?
A lovely love song there. The X-List was all about sort of like sexy songs because of death of Barry White, of course. And Carl and Steve having a little argument. Steve said, well, there are such thing as sexy songs, of course. Carl said, I can't understand it. How can something be sexy? How can you woo a woman with a song? Steve went, well, you don't woo 'em with it, you just put it on the background. Carl said, stick the telly on.
Stick the telly on.
I love that. Jane's Addiction, Just Because on XFM 104.9, broadcasting from London, where people prefer to only be off sick when they actually are ill.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think I've ever taken a day off sick. Except when I had that terrible tonsillitis.
Is that when you went home, stayed with your mum and dad?
Yeah. Why is that a problem? No, it's bad for health.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem.
Yeah, got a loving family. So sue me. What do you make of that?
The antagonism and piss taking is just like, oh God, 3 blokes in a pub. If there's people listening, I can't.
Are there? Carl, what do you make of London? Because you often say you'd much rather be up north.
Well, he wouldn't, or he'd go.
Well, this is what he constantly says.
You've chosen to live here, you've lived here for years, you've got a flat here. No,
I chose to come here because I was offered a job that was good money.
yeah.
I wouldn't have come here if there was no job.
So you prefer to be somewhere where there's a good job, so you've chosen to live here.
I don't like being here, though.
What? No, but you can leave.
To what?
Well, exactly! So you've chosen to stay somewhere that's better for you.
It's not better for me.
Well-
It's making me ill. I'm not sleeping.
Well, you say you're ill, I think you called in ill, but I don't think you are. But I mean,
Are there any stats to prove?
well, yeah, because you know, out of the 11 days that he calls in sick, I reckon probably 7 of them are genuine.
I'd love it if I dropped down dead tonight. Honestly, I'd love it.
If you drop down dead tonight, you know it. Why aren't you sleeping?
What, you're feeling ill now, are you? That's funny, you weren't feeling ill earlier, but you read that, and you're suddenly ill.
I'm run down.
Well, you should take a holiday. Oh yeah, you've just had about 8 in the last 6 months.
Oh, God!
Why are you run down? Why are you run down?
Yeah, what have you done? You sit in a little air-conditioned office.
I haven't got time to tell you. Let's move on. Let's get on with stuff. What have we got anyway? Because we
This seems a little
didn't
out of
have a
place
chance to
in a
meet
war
up this
zone.
week. Me and Ricky could have done, but he you said you were busy, Steve.
Yeah,
so
I was.
that's probably why you don't get run down. But finishing work at about 4 o'clock.
No, so I could have had the meeting, but we gave you a time and you suddenly decided with very little notice that you couldn't make it. So
Make it meetings and that.
Oh,
So what have we got? What have we got? It's 20 past 1. What have we got? We're on till 3.
Well, we've been talking, we've been doing well, we've been playing some great rock and roll, we've been playing some lovely songs, we've told them, we've explained the survey, just for employees, be careful.
Yeah.
We've, put that out there,
Where
put a
you
shout
first
out there,
saw them?
people know
I mean,
you're...
would you say it was probably safest if you are an employer to never employ Mancunians?
Well, I
Would
wouldn't go
be
that
just a
far. I
general
wouldn't go
rule
that
of
far
thumb?
because you see that's only an average. So I imagine some Mancunians, like Londoners, are nice, reliable people. It's probably just a few bad eggs that throw the stats up
Sure.
a little bit. People that would go, I'm not coming in today. I'll put on some wet trousers. All right, stay in bed.
Yeah.
Stay in bed. You still got them on? Yeah. Well, pop them off. Put them on the radiator and go to bed with a little duvet. That'd be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
So, all right, Carl? Right, what's your attitude? Is it because you're tired? Well, why are you tired, though?
You weren't staying out watching those Channel 5 films again, were you?
I'll tell you what, me and Steve were having a little meeting yesterday over lunch about, planning stuff for the show. And Gary Kemp came up to me, started having a little chat about old times, and I went, oh yeah. As he went away, Steve said, right, think of this. He said, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. Remember that sentence, don't take this the wrong way. So there's a right way and a wrong way I could have taken this comment. He went, nodded to sort of Gary Kemp and went, he's aged better than you. I went, well, how could I take that the wrong way?
Yeah, it's not offensive.
No. Well, the point is this. He does possess... He didn't know me 20 years ago, so he's actually saying, Rick, don't take this the wrong way. He looks better than you do.
Rick Toff.
Yeah, well, he does.
Another of your
But
crazy
why say that,
machines?
Carl?
What?
Did you really say that?
Yeah, although, can I just backtracking for a second? I love the fact you said you bumped into Gary Kemp and you reminisced about old times. What old times did you share with Gary
Well, no, he
Kemp?
came up and said, did we drop the pops together? I went, no, I did Razzmatazz. I said, oh, we did Razzmatazz. I think he was thinking, had he ever met me before? But he hadn't, because we hadn't. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
But if you had to make an objective analysis...
I wouldn't. I think that's out of order.
Sure.
we
I mean, you're
got
always
some
slagging me
fresh
off, but
ammunition.
apparently you can't make a value judgment on something else. No.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, because you're morally all over the place. You don't know where you're coming from.
The effort until you get it.
Sure, you should hear what I say about you, Benjamin.
So, would you say you're better looking now than you were? Or
Than I what?
would you say you're better looking now than you were?
Than I was when?
Well, like, have you aged well?
Yes.
You've aged well.
Yeah, I've kept my looks. Bit of Dando? Bit Evan Dando, this would be lovely, yeah.
Two-pack. I'll tell you what, we should get rolling.
I can get out of here.
Rockbusters.
No.
All right.
No.
Well, he has done it. He just said that he was worried about it because we said it's the last one. What do you think, Carl?
I just don't think... I mean, can I just say now, Carl, seriously, I'm only responding to what we're getting on the email, which is people do not want Rockbusters. They really... There's one guy here who is... He says, it's James Pooley. He says he's preempted Carl by giving my answers to this week's quiz. I don't know what the clue would be, but his answer is no van ear. Nirvana.
Yeah, good. No Vanny. That sounds like one.
Number two, he's just guessed. I don't know again what the clue would be, but the answer is Kid Creosote.
Yeah, that's good.
That
That's
would
a
be
typical
perfect
Rockbuster. That is brilliant. That's a better game.
And the last one is Harry Seacombe.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So, I mean, maybe we should reverse it so people just,
and we have to come up with the
Yeah.
with a clue for them.
You give
and we win the prizes.
Yeah.
Have you got prizes ready as well?
It's all there, but...
Oh, I feel sorry for him now. What the prizes would have been.
I'd rather just give them away to the first person to email in, frankly, than have to go through the torrent of
Look at Carl's face. I wish we could. Oh, can't we get this on telly just for Carl's face? Hey, I'll tell you what we could do, Steve. You know, like Smiley Miley and that used to take the Radio 1 Roadshow out.
Oh, man, that would be amazing.
Come on, should we take it out?
Hello, Bournemouth.
Yeah, how many miles have I done? Don't care. No, should we do this? How many miles have we done? Well, XFM's down the road.
Yeah.
1, yeah. Should we take it out the road just so they can see Carl
To be
Pilkington?
fair, though, I mean, you're not really keen to leave W1, are you?
Well, we wouldn't.
Right, so where exactly would we take the roadshow?
We'd do it outside.
Outside the building?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
What happened?
And what would we
It's
do?
called a roadshow because it's in the road, I imagine, isn't it?
And we'd give away T-shirts?
Throw in t-shirts and then we'd have a
Anyone's
band.
hat.
We'd have band playing. What was that band playing tonight?
I forget, something Diesel, was it?
Yeah.
Is it instantly forgettable? I mean, that was my point, really.
We could have them on.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
We get a couple of celebrity pals down.
Someone from Big Brother 2. Josh, that the other little gay fella.
Yeah.
He'd come on, just wave.
Yeah. I'm beginning to like the idea.
Yeah.
Brilliant, yeah.
So we'll have Josh, something Diesel, we're playing the Bull and Gates now, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right, I'll throw out some T-shirts.
Yeah.
And then Carl will do a live Rockbusters. Yeah?
Well, I don't know. Do you want it?
I just think that ruins it slightly. It would just bring the whole afternoon down, I think.
We get sponsored by someone. Yeah? No? Well, I'm just trying to inject a bit of... Read the prizes, what we would have done.
There's a PlayStation game here. I guess it's maybe not been released yet. It's a little demo of that. What's this? The American Song Poem Anthology. I don't exactly know what that is again, but lots of songs on there and a couple of compilations, arbitrary compilations. The Club Anthems compilation, the best summer holiday album ever.
Wow.
There it is again.
You certainly sold it to me, Steve.
The best air guitar album again.
Brilliant.
And an old edition of Only Fools and Horses.
So, you really haven't put the effort into the prizes, Carl. So if that's the prizes, if that's the whole point of the competition, and they're the best prizes you could conjure up, in God's name, how bad are the clues this week? That's why he doesn't want you to do it, Carl.
Oh, we won't bother. We get it. Doesn't matter.
Good. Excellent. Well, that's resolved.
Brilliant.
That's excellent. What we have got, though, is Educating Ricky, haven't we?
Well, another one of my little things.
Oh, it's brilliant, then.
So how long's this going to last before you want to get ditched?
Well, we'll see. A couple of weeks.
Not like that, Carl. It's all one. It's all it's one love, man.
We're on the same team, man.
Yeah, we're just one voice, man. One true voice. Like those lads.
Yeah.
They could play.
Right, well, the Educating Ricky,
They could
right?
play.
Well, why don't we play a record and come back with Educating
The
Ricky?
Wind, Cat Stevens.
We need
beautiful
to
song.
get the
Beautiful
jingle
song.
queued up as well.
Yeah, I'll get the jingle queued up.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't got Neil Young lined up yet.
No, not you, Cat Stevens. I gave it to you.
I know, we're not playing that yet.
Can we just play a record?
No,
This is
I
just
told
our
you
new
to.
rubbish.
Well, I told you to. See what? So why aren't you playing the record I told you to play?
Because we've just had something chilled, right, from Tupac. Let's lift it up a bit now with a little bit of a blur. Right?
Come on, play it. Oh, I'm not sure.
I just have. Crazy beat there on XFM 104.9. Right, we're gonna do Educating Ricky instead of Rockbusters.
Incidentally, on the subject of Rockbusters, we've just had an email from Phil. He says, I could do with this week's rather shoddy array of prizes, as I'm doing a car boot sale tomorrow and need a bit more tact to fill the table. Probably send it
we might as well do it anyway.
Yeah.
But Educating Ricky was a feature. Well, actually, about a year ago, I started a feature called Educating Carl because we found out he had 1 E at O level at history, and I'd educate him on things like Rasputin, things that I thought he'd be interested in. You know, Winston Churchill,
Che Guevara.
some of the greats, some scientific facts, and then I said it's your turn, and he started telling me about people born without legs. Some people have got a funny eye. There's a woman whose tongue's longer than her arm. And really, you know, turning the screw on education. So, I don't know what he's got for me today. Maybe a dog born a cat. Let's have a look.
We've done that one, we've done that.
Is there, because often we should point out there's sometimes a crossover between Educating Ricky and Cheeky Freak of the Week, just in terms of subject matter.
Yeah, so we've done Cheeky Freak of the Week, we've done all the freaks. What have we done with the Freak of the Week? There's a dog. There was a woman that had the back legs of a dog. There was last week. What was last week?
It was the girl who was born with 4 eyes, 2 mouths, and 3 legs.
Sure.
You weren't that impressed. I thought if you've got to that and it's not impressing you. Let's
We are a
spin that,
tough
let's spin
audience,
it,
I
let's
admit.
spin it. Let's move on.
50 Cent. Indie Club on XFM 104.9. So, Carl's a little bit fed up today. Actually whinging. I mean, properly whinging. Fed up. Reckons he's tired. Reckons he's overworked here. But, do you know what I mean, Carl? Everyone gets tired. Everyone gets tired. Everyone does the same sort of hours. What do you do? Sort of 9 till 6, 7?
About 9 till half 7, 8.
Well, no, because a couple of times this week I've sort of met you for a drink about 6. So, it's funny, isn't it? That's
But
weird.
Some of the times I've come back after it, just for another 40 minutes or something whilst no one's around, try and get stuff done without phones going, without emails coming in.
Yeah, we got to do it.
Can I tell you what I think is disappointing?
Yeah, the department. We've got to do it.
I just think it's a disappointment that Carl hasn't been able to put that aside and rise to the occasion. He's only got to do this show once a week.
I know.
We're tired. We've
You've got one job. We've got about 6.
and we're still doing it. Do you know what I mean? We still do it. We still
Well, you're
come
a
here.
professional, Rick. I mean, that's why you've won multiple awards, is because you're willing to get up there, even if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, even if you hurt yourself, you've got an injury of some kind, get up there, you're doing it.
After all.
Yeah,
Entertaining, you're providing
Yeah.
a service.
yeah. So,
It's disappointing.
Feel
But
much
I've pressed all
stronger.
the right buttons at the right time.
You
Right?
already run 10
That's what I get
miles.
paid for, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Done that. The adverts have gone out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I've made your cups of tea.
It's the negativity which is the problem. It's the vibe. You're bringing
bringing
the
us
room
down, bringing us down.
and
bringing us
therefore
down.
the listeners.
Therefore, the listeners, bringing us down. If you don't like London, you know what to do. Well,
Oh, I'm trying to get out of there, aren't I?
we just bought a new flat. That's not the best
Doesn't
way.
matter,
Buy a flat in Manchester, live there.
Get myself into
Doesn't
this
matter.
mess.
Can rent it out and make a little bit of money.
Why don't you sell the flat in London and buy a street in Manchester?
Pilkington Avenue. You could literally have the Lord, the king of that street. People could, and people could come to you like Solomon with their problems.
Yeah. Well, he's come up from London. He's got London ways. Okay, let's have a great show, everyone.
Good luck.
Good luck. Right, that was Jane's Addiction, Just Because, on XFM 104.9. Right, everybody up, let's give them a great show, yeah? 2 hours of, like, fun, chat. Let's keep it, let's keep it cutting edge. Let's not be too, I mean, that's what the listeners of XFM would... Oh, no, it isn't, is it? No, because...
That's a hell of
Hold
a...
on, wait a minute, because we came in yesterday and did this little skit, didn't we, where we bleeped it out.
A little sketch. It was quite noisy,
And
quite
then
controversial.
Carl called me last night, and we're not allowed to play it out.
Oh, we've been censored.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a cutting-edge alternative station. Wants to push the boundaries. Wants to be thought of as
Yeah.
rock and roll, a bit punk, a bit punk rock.
Yeah,
we're not allowed to play
because I said something like the radio authority. I bleeped it out. Why I called them, but couldn't do it. Done it
Right,
before.
censored.
Couldn't do it.
Censored.
Carl agrees though. What's your thoughts, Carl? You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Why?
Well, what's the point?
Well, it was funny, wasn't it? And it wasn't offensive.
Not really. It's not some of the best stuff that would have ever gone out on this show, but,
You don't seem to
you know.
What are you putting up against exactly? Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Well, that springs to mind.
Yeah.
And was it-
Rockbusters?
But I mean, the thing is, the things that you have put out there, I mean, we better be really careful. Who's worried about complaints? I mean, it's not just swearing, is it? It's taste and decency and everything.
yeah.
So we can't laugh about the disabled anymore in the Cheeky Freak of the Week. Can't do stories about elderly relatives with genitals looking like a split tennis ball. Can't do your
Let me go
dad
try
putting
this
a child with learning difficulties in a bin. So, what should we just play music?
I think that's all it's going to have to be, yeah.
You don't get to walk
Accidents Will
away.
Happen by Elvis Costello on XFM 104.9. Carl's a little bit stressed, but it's not his fault. It was the boss that overruled him. He came along. What did he do? He heard you listening to it.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He says, what's that? I said, it's what Ricky wants to play out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he said, well, can't go out like that. Too many...
But they're all bleeped. We bleeped the swear words.
Yeah, but he didn't want it to go out. I mean, you got to remember, right, you came in yesterday to have a chat about what we're going to do.
Yeah.
One of the topics that I said, let's talk about, which I came up with,
Yeah.
was, let's talk about swearing.
No, you said you never had a problem with swearing, which is normally.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we did the thing about, isn't it funny that you can, the thing about you can bleep a swear word by taking out the vowel. So we're going, so it's the vowel that's offensive, and we did a little sketch around that, and then ended, and he wanted to completely obliterate the word in the end, didn't want to put the thing in that we said about the radio authority, which I think it was valid and wouldn't have got a complint.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
at the end of the day, he's the boss, and what he says goes, doesn't it?
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I was just going to say.
right. But what you got to remember is what he also said is if you want to pay the 70 grand fine, then go ahead and do it, Steve.
There wouldn't be a 70 grand fine there, would there?
Well, you don't know what it'd be. But will you pay it? Will you pay for my mortgage? Will you pay for his mortgage? Will you feed his kids?
He would be fined.
What do you mean? Well, if I tell you what, if it's not a fine, we'd lose the licence, then we'd all be fired.
Right.
When you're
Do
sat
you
at home.
seriously think you'd lose the licence for that sketch? Does he really seriously think
I
you'd
don't know,
lose the
but
licence? It is not the worst thing we've ever put out or done or ever will do.
Yeah, but it's the fact that he said don't put it out, and you're like, throwing your toys out the pram. I want to say it. How old are you? But you still want to put swearing out.
It's a discussion about the radio authority and the way people are interested.
Yeah, but leave it. Let's
Don't
move
get
on.
annoyed.
Yeah, but I'm annoyed because you've been at it since about 12:30.
I know. Well, I like to get in early to plan the show.
Yeah, but there's been no planning. So, to be honest, I'd turn off today, anyone listening, because there's nothing.
Carl, there's never anything.
There is. There's sometimes some good things, but today, seriously,
What is there?
I'd leave
Name
it.
us something half decent that's been on this show.
Loads of little interesting
Go
topics.
on, I can't remember any.
Right, gays in toilets.
Yeah. Not particularly interesting. Fascinating to you, perhaps.
Right, well, I prefer to hear that than just a load of swear words.
We're not hearing, we wouldn't have heard these swear words. We'd have heard some bleeping.
Right then, so that's entertaining, isn't it? Load of bleeps.
It's just because you don't want to stand up to your boss or say anything. Don't get annoyed with
I'd
us.
stand up to all, if I agree with what I'm arguing about, but I'm not falling out with him over some crappy thing you want to play out.
Don't say crappy.
It
Don't say
doesn't matter,
crappy.
because I'm not here next week, I tell you that. I've Cam missing.
Don't
right?
say
So if
crappy.
Andrew is listening,
Don't
Someone
say
else can be here next
crappy.
week.
Play a record. We apologise for the word crap.
That's out of order.
It's the Thrills on XFM 104.9. Starting off another nice atmosphere again in the studio.
Don't blame me, it's not my fault.
No, I know.
Well, it's your fault, mainly.
Yeah.
You are bad. You are quite bad.
Don't, come on, don't.
Come on, you are.
Don't try and win him round just because he scared you.
I don't know exactly things.
It's you, yeah. It's you.
Right. Well, I'm not a coward.
No.
I'm not a coward.
Okay,
I'm just thinking of the listeners, Rick, and I just want them to be entertained.
Yeah. Luckily, that's not a big problem for us.
What, you mean we're effortlessly entertaining while there's no listeners?
Well, yeah. Somewhere in between. Carl, what's happened to you this week, mate?
that's happened.
Looks like we all just got loaded up.
Come on.
Nothing's happened.
Come on. I came in and he had an hour lunch break. You know, he's sort of like he never gets a break. I came in one day. He was out for an hour, and I had a little chat with Andrew Phillips about, you know, where we were going with the show. And, you know,
Where are we going with it? You come up with anything?
Sooner I could
Is that how far we can run it into the grave?
yeah, no. If we go off air, it certainly won't be through being cutting edge or controversial because people just turned off because it's too boring to listen to. But he was out for an hour.
Having a lunch break for an hour.
I know, yeah.
He's too busy.
I know, yeah.
It is interesting. Actually, on the subject of that, I noticed Dan here has emailed in. He says, I was listening to last week's show. I think Carl's taken his job for granted. I'd love to swap with him for a week. My qualifications are that I can press play on a CD player and stop.
Carl, what do you think of that?
He can come in next week, seriously.
It says here...
Don't get ratty, Carl.
I'm
We're
not
just
being
entertaining.
ratty. Dan, email me. You know my address. Email it. It'll be sorted out. You can be here next week.
Dan suggested we could call it Carl Idol, where people audition each week, or perhaps Bone Idol.
I like that. Bone Idol.
Brilliant.
Have we got a monkey news, Carl?
Don't know if I can be bothered.
Play a record.
Billy Bragg from his Essential Billy Bragg compilation. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking Billy Bragg, I can't be bothered, politics, and I have to say, buy this CD, skip past every song that is, for instance, there is power in a union.
Don't be duped by fascism.
Yeah, it's your right and duty to vote.
Yeah. Right wing, wrong wing.
Exactly. Ignore all that.
But
Just listen to the love songs.
His love songs are beautiful.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Tonight I celebrate my love for you with a fight to do a new tattoo. It's great. Yeah, lose the ones about... Yeah. It's striking.
Yeah, exactly, because we know what we think of that. So, I would heartily recommend that.
Carl, we're on happiness. Carl,
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain to Carl that the aim to, it's really to get on a 10.
Yeah.
For
I
happiness.
like the
He's
fact
on
that he
4.
started on a 9.
But I love the fact he's happy with 4.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, but what I mean is, right, I'm not looking for, like, happiness.
Weapons, it's like
Right.
they don't belong.
I'm
You're not
alright.
looking for happiness. What? What's that for?
What I mean is, right, I'm happy when I'm not fed up. So what I mean is, I'm happy...
Is this in your new book? Psychology of the Mind? What is that? I'm happy when I'm not fed up. That's like an 8-year-old trying to explain happiness. Johnny, what is it when I'm happy when I'm not fed up, miss? Well done, good boy. That's it. You're happy when you're not fed up.
Stink all over.
Talk like an adult.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you, though.
What?
I'm happy most of the time. It's just that when things niggle me, I find that... I realise when I'm annoyed more than when I'm happy.
But Carl, every time we talk to you, you are whinging about something. You've got something that
But
annoys
he's
you.
one of those people that if he whinges loud and he gets away with it, like he's in it, I think he goes, oh, I'm really busy. I come in and he's doing nothing, he's chatting, because he's having big long chats with everyone about how someone's wound him up.
Yeah.
And they all come in and they go, oh, Carl's fed up. Because he's got this show. You know what I mean? He's wormed his
No,
way.
but hang on a minute.
Go
You
on.
came in moaning about the post and that today.
Yeah.
Well, everyone's annoyed and frustrated by that. There's small businesses going out of
I'm not.
business.
I'm not. You haven't heard me.
No, you're
moan
not,
about
because
it.
he's sending you letters. No one. You've got no friends. You've said that yourself.
Yeah.
You've openly declared you don't want friends. They're too much hassle.
No.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That is my joy. Friends is that is the point of life to me. I can't wait to see them. I squeeze their head. I welcome them in.
They annoy
Friends
you.
are annoying. I love it. Friends are annoying. He's even scared of like doing something with a friend or getting a gift because he goes after buying one back now.
Yeah.
It's sort of like life's a bit of a chore for Carl, isn't it?
Well, anyway, all right, let's leave that aside. Obviously, you're never going to be entirely happy, although apparently you are already on the brink of happiness.
All you have to say is your hair looked nice. That's all you have to say. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, and that's it. End of story.
What's the point in that?
was pretty cool.
What is the point in
Because
that?
she doesn't really care what you think, but she doesn't want to hear that she looks like Dave Hill from Slang.
She's not having her haircut just to please you, Carl. Despite what you might think. He's taken aback by that.
I was with Joe Cornish last night. Went for a little do at Jonathan's house, and Joe was there. And he walked in, and I was taken aback by how tall he is.
Sure.
Because I'd forgotten, and he's about 6'4", but he's unlikely to. You know what I mean by that? It's like something would surprise you. And he was going, I don't consider 6'4". I said, it's pretty good. I said, well, I know what you mean. I walked around with Steve Merchant.
Yeah.
And he went, how tall Steve? And I was 6'7".
Yep.
And Joe went, oh, that's nearly a disability, isn't it?
Do you know, he's absolutely right as far as I'm concerned. No, do you know, I've genuinely, since school, I used to go to school with a little disabled fella. Lovely guy. No, I swear to God, lovely guy. And I remember he came in when we got in the sixth form, and he basically got, I don't know what the ins and outs of it were, but as far as I could tell, he'd got a car for free. A specially converted car,
Yeah.
you know, because he was disabled, and he was driving that around.
Same as Carl. Me. I need this, I need that.
But it seemed to me that I was thinking, well, why can I not get something similar? Because there are some cars I can't fit in, because I'm too tall. I genuinely cannot drive the smaller cars, the cheaper cars. I've got obliged to buy a more expensive, larger car, because I can't fit in the tiny.
Yeah, that's like saying you've got to pay more for your shoes because there's more leather, which is true.
Which is absolutely true. It's a nightmare getting shoes.
But fat people have to pay more.
Do you know,
for
it's a nightmare getting chairs, comfy chairs that I can sit in at home. I sit in a chair for very long, my back's killing me. Now, how is that not a disability? But no, you don't see people like me whinging.
But I think tall people, I read an article that taller people on average get higher wages through something, through, an advantage, or just because they're taken more seriously than little dumpy fellas.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
But I don't think
So
there
it
are,
swings and
I genuinely
roundabouts.
don't think there are many benefits of being really tall. People seem to assume there are, but beyond the fact that I can reach things down from a high shelf,
I know.
I don't think there's any real perks.
I've seen you hit your head a few times.
That's a disability.
I know, I have seen you hit your head a few times, and I think, oh God, that must have hurt. Obviously, I'll make sure okay and then laugh.
Of course.
But I know it must be annoying.
mate.
No, but I mean, there's a pub. There's one pub in Soho that is to go down backwards. He has to leave that. It looks like a limbo dancer.
Yeah, they've almost got to lower me in on ropes.
I always find it amusing.
But but like, for instance, on a plane, on an airplane, I can't get some of the seats. I can't fit in some of the seats. Not in any way. Not the way that I could.
Because
What are you talking? How is that not a
there's some
disability?
seats that people can't afford because they're poor. It's not a disability.
Don't go on a plane then, because you're poor. If you can't afford to go on a plane, you can't afford to go on a plane. You should have studied hard at school.
But what annoys what annoys me about that is there's
This is a physical disability I was
I've said
born with.
before, there's a weight allowance, so I might not be allowed loads of bags on, but there might be a big fat pig in the queue who's allowed the same chocolate
That's
allowance as
because they've been
me.
eating like a bloater. I couldn't stop myself from growing this tall. It wasn't a conscious decision. I didn't think, I'll tell you what, I won't smoke when I'm a teenager. Maybe I'll shoot up. I'll eat healthy. I'll probably add an extra 2 feet. It just kept going.
You do eat too healthy. You eat way too many greens.
That's not why I grew to this height. It's
I
a
know,
genetic
well,
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but if you lived near, some sort of pylon or something, and just, as I say, smoked from an early age, you wouldn't have been that tall.
Don't think when I was a gangly teenager having the piss taken out of me, I wasn't thinking I wish I'd been born near a pylon, or Chernobyl.
Could your mum or dad, could they have
Ready for a
banged
real
you
bite?
like they did with little? Didn't they do that with someone's feet?
Well, yeah, concubine,
But
yes.
I didn't come out
do
this
with-
tall, did I?
How would they bandage him? They'd have to bandage him round the feet and round the top of the head.
Yeah, I'll be walking around like a mummy.
Yeah, or a bonsai boy.
People didn't really realise I was going to be this tall until I was 14 or 15. You know, you don't realise when you're an 8-year-old.
How
Because everyone's
tall
tall,
were
aren't
you
they?
when you were
Ask me
about
out.
like a gangly,
Looks like
okay, so
we
a
all
typical
just got some
gangly
fresh
teenager?
ammunition.
15. How tall were you at 15?
I don't know, 6'5" maybe?
And I bet you were like a beanpole, weren't you?
Of course.
Yeah. And what sort of glasses did you have?
Cool.
No, what did you have?
I don't know, a monocle. No, I can't remember.
Did you wear a bow tie one?
I wore a bow tie. I was trying to preempt the styles that might be coming around. I think I've been watching a lot of George Formby films. And I thought it can only be a matter of time before the bow tie comes in. I thought it might be quite kind of urbane and debonair.
Yeah.
So I wore that
Was
for a while.
Robin Day at the height of his
I think he
fame
might have
around
been.
this time? Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to go for that dandy look. I thought that's what the girls would go
Dandy,
for.
I know,
The
yeah.
dandy.
Oh dear.
So I
I still want
adjusted
to see you with a pipe and trilby.
Yeah.
I just think you'd look great
I like
walking on
wearing
the
a bow
street. Yeah. Oh,
I
dear.
genuinely, I really, it does frustrate me that I don't get any allowance.
It doesn't count as a disability.
Well, it does count.
No, it doesn't. It's not a disability being 6'7".
But how can you explain, for instance, travelling on a bus or a coach?
The only disadvantage is people look. I've seen people stare at you, but they stare at me because I've been on the telly. Was that a disability? Is that people being recognised?
But you could avoid that by not being on the telly. It's your choice. This is my point. It's your choice.
Yeah,
It's the same as the big fat people. It's their
It's
choice.
a different sort of stare, isn't it? I've been there.
Yeah.
When, the sort of stare that you get and the sort of stare.
Well, obviously, I'm gonna. Sorry, Steve, but I'm gonna. Follow up this inquiry. What do you mean, Carl?
No, I'm just saying it's more of a stare of fear than, like with you, they go, oh, it's him.
Yeah, go on.
Whereas with you, it's more like, jeez.
Do you know what frustrates me? I thought he did deserve having a Monday off. I've changed my tune.
Yeah.
I was sometimes you don't realise this, listeners, but sometimes I'm an intermediary. I do step in when he's winding him up because
Yeah.
Carl gets to the point where he's going to explode.
Yeah, and
It's
Steve's
crazy.
okay, Jeff. But
And I step in, and this is the kind of response I get from Carl. This is the kind of back chat I get.
Well, I tell
from him.
you, he's a little
Because
user.
I'll tell you what, because he's too scared of winding you up because he knows that you'll just walk out of here and he won't get his Monday off.
Absolutely. Play a record, you little oik.
Weasel. You're a weasel.
Lou Reed, with a little help from David Bowie there in the background. Satellite of Love on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant and Carl Pilkington. Now, Steve, you know how Carl won't do anything outside his jurisdiction. He moans about stuff. He's got one job. We're doing about 5 things in the week. We just turn up and he's always available. He moans about it. He goes, oh, lucky you caught me, right? He's chatting. He's one of those people that whinges enough and people think he's overworked, so he got Mondays off, right? He's just a whinger.
I haven't got Mondays off though, have I?
Yeah, well, anyway, 2 hours on a Saturday. This is what the phone message he left me Wednesday on my mobile. But I just is chatting about certain things that are going on at the moment. What he does need to know. Duncan, who he mentions, is my agent, and you understand a few other things. But this is the sort of message I get from Carl, right? Whinger.
Old messages.
Alright, 12:10, Wednesday. Just getting loads of people calling me all the time about yesterday DVDs signing for BBC London. I don't work there, but I've been dragged into that. I've got a woman on leaving a message from Talk PR going on about do you want to go and see Pop Idol again? Right? Saying you and some listeners can go, so I'm sure you'll love that. I've got Jim Benner wanting you to introduce the tin buckets at the Astoria. So can you just let Duncan know that I'm doing his job whilst he's sat on his arse with his thumb firmly up his arse? Can you let him know that I'm around like a sorting shit out for you? Alright, see you later.
So, do you know what I mean?
I know, but that's the kind of phone message he's leaving. But remember who he was before you.
He's even annoyed that he gets a phone call. I remember he got a phone call for you to do a voiceover and didn't pass it on. You missed a voiceover. That was thousands of pounds.
I did pass it on though, I told you.
You
I
did.
said a
You said
woman.
someone had phoned.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
But who's that?
Well, she didn't say, and I didn't ask. But
Of
it's
course
not my
she
job to do
said.
it. She didn't say.
Rubbish.
So you didn't take the number down? She went, oh, can you tell Steve to call me? And you went, yeah.
Yeah, well, I just thought you'd know her already. I should have known. It was a woman, so I should have known.
He's having a go, you see?
Unbelievable. I don't know how it's come back on me. You're the one who's picking on it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying. I'm defending. Why is he having a go at
He
you?
never
Because
picks on Ricky because he knows you are his bread and butter. Seriously, you know what I mean? The only reason he's got Mondays off is because you're still doing this show.
Yeah.
That's why he's scared of you. That's why he's like, he has a go at you on the phone, but he always picks on me because he knows, I'm a pushover, I'm a nice guy. He's scared of you.
can't believe I don't know how it works.
Is that true?
I'm always sorting you out. I look after you. Sort you out with tickets. I sort of get lager out.
What do you mean you're sorting about tickets and lager? What's this?
Right, whenever you want tickets.
Yeah.
I don't want to use this as like moaning time and that because I don't like to moan. I'm busy and that, right? I've sorted you out tickets for gigs.
Yeah.
Right?
What somebody doesn't even turn up to.
Yeah. We won't even go on about that. Right? Lager.
He was sorting out the Cure, he complained it was boring.
Yeah. There was that big drum of lager that you had, and you said, "Oh, put that in your room for me,
Yeah.
because I don't want to carry it home." Right?
Lazy.
So I said, "All right, then I'll put it in my room." It goes missing, it gets nicked. Then you have a go at me because it got nicked.
Yeah.
I get you another one. You make me carry it around town for you for half an hour. Then you say, "Oh, I can't be bothered taking it home. Can you take it back to work for me?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But interestingly, this is like a year ago, so it's still pressing on you.
Oh,
is it?
hang on, and I forgot the one when we had an argument over 50p. When we went out for a coffee.
You didn't want to give me 50p back that you owed me.
That was the same day you'd given him about 40 quid worth of lager.
But see, this is my point. This was my point at the time. It's not the 50p in terms of money is not what's important. The fact that you think you don't have to give me money back because it's only 50p, that was the point at stake. It's me who makes the decision. Oh, don't worry about the 50p, not you. It's only 50p. I'm not going to give it to you. You know what I mean? There's got to be rules, otherwise it's chaos, Carl. Come on, mate. All right?
I'm full out about
No,
it.
that's not fair. Should we kiss and make up?
No, it's all right.
Yeah. We should play a little record and come back to this, because
I can't believe it started with you slacking him off, Rick, and I've ended up as the monster.
I know.
Bit of Ariam.
Yeah.
I was walking away from the show last week. I was walking towards Berwick Street. I like to look at the records and the records. And I was on my mobile phone, and I was chatting to someone, and what can only be described as a prostitute.
Go on.
Stood on the street
Was she a
corner.
woman that gives you sex for money?
Yes.
That is a prostitute.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Go on.
And as I was walking by, she said, "Do you want to buy sex?" Now,
You sure it wasn't a market trader giving 6 plums or
No, it was
something?
definitely
6 for a quid?
No, it was definitely
Go
a
on.
prostitute.
Yeah.
And what annoyed me about it, what I wanted to pick her up on something, was the fact that I was on my mobile phone. It's like, can you imagine?
rude.
Who would what am I going to hang up? Sorry, Mum, can I call you back? You
just
know,
had an
you know,
offer.
you say you want me to meet more women.
And you know you sent me that 30 quid
Exactly.
for my birthday?
Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Johnson, I'm really excited about the job. Can I call you back? I'm just going to negotiate with a whore. And it was just sort of, you could tell that she was clearly probably desperate for crack or a latest fix of smack. So she was literally the normal etiquette of prostitution. You know, that they hang around, they show some thigh. I've seen this in films.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Take you out for a meal, that sort of thing.
it's
That had sort of
strange.
gone out of the window, and she
Yeah,
was just
sure.
there, desperate, running around.
Did she
the
go out of a
streets.
window?
Like a
Because that's
zombie.
another thing they sometimes do, specialist ones.
I was shocked because I've never been propositioned before like that.
Really?
In London,
It's
obviously.
weird, isn't it? Carl, thoughts?
I think you'd be sort of approached a lot because they tend to sort of go for people who look like they haven't got much chance.
Sure.
And I'm not being mean.
No.
I've known you a long time.
Sorry, I'll let you go into it. In what way aren't you being mean? By saying that Steve...
Steve nose is a little bit odd looking.
I don't think... Well...
No, he does. Do you know
Yeah,
before...
no, but it's not what he thinks of his looks.
Yeah.
It's what he thinks of you talking about his looks on...
No, but it's
on.
like how you were talking before about, you know, your eyes are bad. It's nature's little way of saying, look, nothing to see here, right?
Don't get that!
I don't know what you mean.
But when you look in the mirror and that, they've gone, look, he hasn't got the looks, let's make his eyes bad, right? Yeah. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying,
See,
it's
I-
all into it out. Right?
Yeah.
And it's funny, right? Now we're on the topic.
Sorry,
Right, I wasn't-
Johnny Depp.
No, listen,
My chest is going to burst at this moment.
Whenever we
because-
get off this conversation, I always think to myself, Carl, do you know what you look like?
I'm going to burst.
Seriously, can I be honest with you? You look like, you know, if you've got like a balloon, a hot air balloon, right? Just a little balloon, like a party balloon. If you drew a little face on it, right, and inflated it about halfway, that's what you look like.
right,
No, play a record. I don't want to get into this.
listen,
It's too intense.
now you've got onto this, let's just nip it in the bud now. I'll tell you something that I wasn't going to tell you because I think...
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Right, it was on the tube, right? Well, someone told me they were on the tube, right? And the tube pulled into a station, right? And one of the women saw the poster that's out at the moment with you and Rick on it, right?
Yeah.
So this woman apparently goes, oh, well, there's Ricky. Ricky's on the radio, right? And the other woman goes, oh, yeah, don't you listen to it? So she goes, oh, I didn't know it was on the radio. And she goes, oh,
I'm sorry, Steve.
look at...
Because he didn't sound this bad.
She said, oh, look at that person he's with. So she goes, yeah. She said, that's Steve. She said, I'm kind of... I was sort of aware that he looked odd because Carl mentioned it on the radio.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as much of a blow to me, but I can see how it was a bit of a shock to you.
Yeah.
So that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that isn't me sort of telling this woman to say anything. That was all happened without anybody else sort of bringing it on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
Was it... Sorry, you seem to be relishing this. Was it because of the little balloon story that made you...
Honestly, Steve, I wouldn't have told you, but if you're going to start, having a pop...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can't just sit here and take it that.
No.
I mean... all mates.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just taken for Johnny Vegas. Steve's got a story about that, if you want to have a go at me.
well, someone just thought you were fat
Most of them out.
with a beard, which is true.
Well, don't have a go at me because he said you look...
Well, you started it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
No, I
you did.
didn't.
You were milking it. You were
I
egging him on.
was laughing.
You were egging him on.
I sort of was.
Yeah.
But let's not,
Oh, it's a good job you got lots of good mates like Jonathan Ross you can go and hang out with. Don't need other friends, people who've helped you in your career.
He's good looking bloke, isn't he, Jonathan Ross?
He's a good-looking fella.
Player Radiohead, Fake Plastic Trees on XFM 104.9. Someone just emailed in and said, just want to know what you think of that cover of Wonderwall.
We told you. It was great.
Yeah.
Listen.
But they must have been listening to hear...
The song.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Although maybe they just turn off...
When we start talking.
Yeah. That would make sense. I mean, it makes sense in a sort of preserving of sanity type way as well.
Objectively, Rick, if you were listening at home, if you didn't know us and you were listening to the show, would you listen to it? Would you bother? I know that's a hard thing to get your head round.
It's difficult to say, isn't it? I've no idea. I've no idea what people come to the first time think.
I love you like a brother, but I get sick of you.
Yeah. I get sick of me. Sometimes I go when
Great you say that, because someone's emailed in.
Yeah.
A recent survey's been done by Cheltenham and Gloucester. The most desirable neighbour in Britain. Number 1,
Shane Ritchie.
Johnny Wilkinson.
Let's make these
Oh,
bullets
right.
It doesn't actually give me the full rundown, but David Beckham was in the list.
Yeah.
Shane Ritchie was indeed in the list.
Yeah, he's flying at the moment.
As was Ricky Gervais.
Too many of us.
Really?
Well, that's what it says. It doesn't tell me where you came though. And there was actually a neighbour from hell, and you weren't in that list.
Well, I'm a good neighbour.
Oh, come on.
I am. I'm quiet. I don't keep myself to myself. I never...
Do you know what I'm thinking of?
What?
If it was best friend.
Yeah.
Now that would be a nightmare.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Most desirable friend.
I'm a good neighbour. I'm quiet, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I imagine being stuck in a room with me writing all the time, with me squeaking like a chimp.
Unbelievable.
Although I don't physically abuse you, I save that to my bald mates like Carl and Robin that I just like to squeeze their head. I don't squeeze your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's because you command a little bit more respect.
Ah, thanks very much.
Do you know what I mean? You're not that sort of... You're not an idiot.
Sure.
All right, Carl, got anything to say? Has anyone seen his picture in Heat this week? It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Do you know what Steve said when he saw that, Carl? He said, it has captured Carl.
What do you mean?
Well, you just look utterly gormless.
Don't stand a chance.
in the pictures. Brilliant. You know how like a good photographer can do that? The essence of someone.
That must have been at least 500
Good stuff.
pounds of
Good
explosive.
stuff.
We're actually on the photographer.
Yes,
Because
you
it was a
are.
screen grab from the behind-the-scenes footage.
Well done.
So I got that gimpness. I captured the essential gimposity.
Exactly.
Yeah. Carl, all right?
Should it?
Yeah, well, I did a little article for Time Out, and I think Boyd from Heat has sent over that screen grab to them, so he might be in Time Out. I'm going to try and get him in every publication
Yeah.
for 1 year. It's like
Well,
a
you've managed it in the last 2 weeks.
Exactly, yeah. It's like a Dave Gorman project. Are you Carl Pilkington? Let's do that, shall we? If anyone's got a publication, it doesn't matter how little, just take it from Heat. That's mine, so you're welcome to it. Just try and just put his picture in anything. Next to round things is best, isn't it? That'd be good. You all right, Carl, with that?
Yeah.
All right, then, good. What have you got for us, Carl?
I'll tell you, you're going to go along later to the Live 8 gig and you're probably going to see some bands that are going to make an effort to entertain you, but if you want entertainment, Rick, you know it. There's only one person to book.
Go on.
Me. if you know, that's going to do. Because I mean, I'm obviously a top
Well,
DJ on the radio, but where I really come into my own is DJing in a club.
Well, you told me you were DJing, I didn't go to it, DJing at a party, and you said the place was rocking,
The place was roaring.
and I loved it. Carl just said he was there and they weren't.
Well, that's nonsense, Carl, because you know very well that when I put on a tune, they cheer.
Yeah, but it was late on in the night. They would have done that, whatever you put on.
That's nonsense.
No, they were happy and everything. I'm not saying they weren't having a good time. It was your party. It was all right, but they weren't going mental like you're sort of making up.
They were definitely going mental. When I put on the Proclaimers, they could not believe their luck. They would have walked 1,000 miles.
Was it good though? Were they really, what were they doing? They were dancing, were they?
He's dancing and that, but they weren't sort of cheering, going, more and all that at the end.
What's about?
Oh,
Take
wow.
On Me came on, big cheer went up.
Oh, I don't know who to believe.
I've been there, done it, Steve. I've been the DJ as well.
Oh, it might be jealousy. It might be like
Professional jealousy there.
yeah.
I think it's because my fortunes are on the up and his are on the down. You know, we all know famously that he had
Pilkers making music.
his
Didn't
DJ
happen.
outfit.
Didn't happen.
I did enough. I just wanted to do enough to pay for the equipment. And I did. And that was that. But I don't like crowds, do I?
But you're safe, aren't you? You're behind the little thing with the flashing
But
lights.
I still... people and that. Forced fun. Don't like that.
Forced
It's not forced fun. They haven't got to
It
dance if they don't want to dance.
Yeah. Don't like it.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Hello, welcome to the 8th in this series of 12 podcasts, the Ricky Gervais Show, with The Guardian. I'm Ricky Gervais, hello, with me Stephen Merchant, hello, and Carl Pilkington. So, thank you again for all your emails, we're getting thousands. We're up to about 250,000 hits a week now. 250,000 people bothering to go and listen to the show.
Nothing else in their lives.
All
nothing
around the
better to
world.
do.
It's unbelievable though. North America, Asia, South America, all over Europe, and thanks to everyone in England as well, where we do it from a little room in London. Keep going to rickygervais.com and registering, so when we finish these 12 we can email you when we come back and start again. We need a little bit of time off to record the second series of extras.
Well, I'll tell you more than that, Rick. You're going to believe it. I know how hard you work.
And you, mate.
Well, thanks, mate. But I mean, you blinking work hard.
But Carl's been on holiday again, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because, Carl, you don't do anything.
And you have weekends off. You take at least 5 or 6 weeks holiday a year, even though you haven't got a job now. You're meant to be doing this, and yet you still
So
go
your
on
whole
holiday.
life's a holiday, basically.
Yeah, why do you need a holiday? You potter around. Your big day last week was going to the cobblers. So why do you need a break so much this
No,
week?
it's just that, it's good for your brain. Opens it up a bit.
You are not evidence for that.
Where did you go?
Gran Canaria.
For a week? Just sitting around?
Well, there isn't much else to do at Gran Canaria. I mean, I don't want to go slagging a place off because every time something to talk about somewhere. But it's just a big rock. It's just volcanic, isn't it?
And you must look like a little barnacle on that.
Have you been there before?
Been near it before to another rock, which was just.
But
it
what
was
you
10
like to
kilometres.
do? Why did you go there?
Because you think, well, they can't have loads of these islands that are the same, like just a big rock with hotels on. They can't get away with it. So you think,
they
well, the
obviously
next
are
one.
getting away with it. But why do you keep going to these places that are rocks? Why don't you investigate first? Ask your travel agent, is this a giant rock?
Because that's what you do, isn't it? You go and find out yourself. I mean, when Armstrong went to the moon, what was he expecting up there? That's a fact. That's a big rock, and he still went all that way.
I don't know what that point was.
No. So what I'm saying is though, sometimes.
Tell us about the moon landing. As you started, what do you know about that? You know, because I mean, so far you've given us a lot of insight into the moon landing. So there was Armstrong.
There was Armstrong in that.
Yeah.
There was a fella called Buzz.
Yeah.
And another bloke.
Yeah. Poor bastard.
Yeah, never remembered.
Yeah, go on.
And they went up there, got out, 2 of them did. One of them didn't bother. The one whose name, don't know who he was. Didn't even get out to stretch his legs, right? Went all that way. He had a potter about.
You behind all these magic potions too, German?
That's all you need to know, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
And in your opinion, pointless?
To me, yeah. But to them, I'm sure they had a good time, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just take the risk, don't you? Go and visit a place, make up your own mind.
And so, what do you make of this place? You enjoy it, Gran Canaria? It was just a big rock, but did you
I bet the moon was better.
Really?
What did you do?
It was just, it's one of them. It's big hotel, which is that's where I made a mistake. It was one of those like big, massive places where there's loads of people, and you go for your dinner.
That describes a hotel.
Yeah.
No.
Sounds like one to me.
You've nailed that.
I've been to a few. That sounds like it.
No, but do you know what I mean? Though there's the nice small ones where it's just enough people, but this is like mental. And it was all, it was full of old people. Really. I mean that's probably why it's called Gran Canaria, right? Because it's just
Grannies
old people.
everywhere.
Yeah, right. But what I thought I'd start doing is start a diary.
Okay, why?
Just because I sort of had a bit of time on my hands and that. Just thought, write it down, write stuff down.
And do you hope that this one day will become one of the great literary documents like Samuel Pepys' diary?
I haven't heard of that.
You've never heard of Samuel Pepys' diary?
No,
The most famous diary, other than probably Anne Frank.
I've heard of Anne Frank's and that, and I thought if she's sat in a, wrapping stuff up, not much going on in her life at that point, yet she was still writing it down.
Yeah. Whereas
Well,
you've been
I'm
to
on
Gran
holiday.
Canaria.
I thought, so there is stuff going on that I can check out. Start down.
You started a diary.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? Did you keep it up every day?
Yeah, just.
Oh, can I read it, please?
Well, a diary is meant to be sort of.
Please, can I read some out on this podcast? Carl.
Some of it though is only relevant to me. It's sort of
this is. Please give me it. Oh my God.
I mean, this isn't. I haven't just.
It's one of those desk diaries.
It's huge. It's about a foot long, and it's Oh, that is amazing. Imagine if Anne Frank had been like that. As she got out, right? Everyone would have heard it clank down on the desk.
Yeah, but my writing's quite big, isn't it?
Oh look, give us that.
Do you know about joined up writing? Have you heard about that?
No point.
Amazing.
It's gonna be a long, hard winter
for you.
Look at
Look! Oh my God! It starts on the first day. This is wonderful. Going on holiday to Gran Canaria today. Woke up to the news that Tony Banks had died. There was a piece on the news about how everyone was shocked. Got me thinking about an invention that would be good. Right, a watch that counted down your life. If it says you've got 3 days left, go to the doctors. Told Suzanne about invention. She said she wouldn't buy one, but she said that about the iPod.
How would this device work? This watch? I mean, how would you know when you were about to die? Is that again not for you to worry about? Presumably the boffins.
No, all I was thinking is that Tony Banks though is like everyone was shocked about. But if you had like a little watch on.
But how did it work? You can't just say, wouldn't it be good? How would this work? Yeah, I imagine you in the patent office going, got an idea, a little something here. What's your idea? Watch that counting down your life. How does that work? What?
Well, just pop it on your wrist.
No, what do you mean? Just pop it on your wrist. How does it work? Just pop it on your wrist. Brilliant. You're an idiot.
Well, it's interesting that he goes on. The flight to Gran Canaria was a bit bumpy. I thought about the clock that counts down your life again, and I wondered if it would know if we were going to die in a disaster. No, he's querying his own
He's
life.
wondering if it would know. He's invented this.
And now he's not even sure. A fella on the plane was reading. It was a fishing magazine. I glanced over and noticed he was reading the Pond of the Month article. Don't think they could make it into a weekly magazine. Well, to be fair to you, because I remember seeing a guy on the train once reading Carp Monthly, a magazine dedicated entirely to carp, and it had Carp of the Month. And I just thought, once you're like 3 months in, the editor must be stressing. Have we got any more carp? We've got a carp that's actually done anything.
I reckon if they used the same one twice, there wouldn't be many complaints.
No one would be noticing.
No, that's the carp they used 2 years ago.
There was a really fat bloke on the plane. He was playing on his PSP. While I waited to go to the toilet, I looked at what game he was playing. It was darts. He's that fat and lazy, he can't even face playing a more active game on a games console.
Crossed a line.
Me and Suzanne got off the coach along with a couple of old people. One of them was in a wheelchair. I don't think it was wise of them to come to a volcanic island with a wheelchair. Everywhere's pretty rough paving and slippery. Guess I'll keep an eye on it as the weeks go on. Day 2 in Gran Canaria.
Brilliant, we're only at day 2.
The hotel's a bit odd. I've never seen as many cross-eyed people in one location.
That's amazing!
Well, you never let me read on a bit more.
No, this is amazing. This is a brilliant diary. This might be the best diary ever written. Oh.
Whilst sat listening to the Kinks on my iPod, I wondered if everybody thinks in their accent. I know I do. What's this? What are you talking about?
Just that. When I've been sat there lying on the lounge, and I was thinking about stuff.
How do you know you think in your accent? Tell me a typical thought.
Because what I mean is, say if I was like, if I saw something, right? Do you know how I say like, oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
No, but
that was
I don't have
said.
to. But when you think, I don't think the sentence is like I'm saying it. It's just a thought. The thought appears. It's conceptual and it's already there. It's not like I go, Rick, what? Just looking at that fellow over there, were you? Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was thinking it was a bit weird. Yeah, so was I. I don't think out whole sentences.
Whereas you have Carl, stop listening to the Kinks for a minute. Look over there. More cross-eyed people.
Oh, well,
Is that how your mind works?
In a way, yeah. And
Brilliant.
that's when because I thought
it's great that you have to think about whole sentences.
Because I thought that's weird, isn't it? Like, I didn't think that's weird, isn't it? And I thought I actually think in the accent. And then I thought Stephen Hawking, does he when he's doing his maths and that? I don't know where he's from. so I don't know what his accent will be like.
Got enemies closing in fast.
Kent or Cambridge or Oxford.
Right, so
So you think he might think in his
voice, in that voice box.
computerised voice?
Just wondered.
Had lunch inside today due to shite weather. Sat next to an old fella. Old men's ears and noses carry on growing as they get older. Suzanne noticed his fingers were fat too. Maybe they continue to grow. Suzanne didn't laugh when I said her arse had the same problem.
Not today.
Day 3, cloudy start today. Had pie and chips in a cafe. Had a bit of an argument with Suzanne because I thought it was daft that we were paying for food when we were on an all-inclusive holiday.
You don't seem to
Changed my
understand.
mind when I saw
I'm trained for
they
this.
sold pie though. The cafe was called Tattoos. The fellow who owned it didn't have any tattoos, but we never saw his wife.
You freaks ready for a real fight?
Oh, brilliant! Had a drink in a bar. Everyone sat and watched one of the local cats lick its bollocks.
It's the greatest holiday in the world!
Real low on ammo here.
I've been entertainment in that town!
Went back to the hotel and had a sleep before tea. I love the fact you're just moaning about old people, but you're just as bad.
You've done nothing so far!
He's done nothing, he's got the tip.
The sooner I could get out of here.
Woke up to news about ducks being badly treated. There was a really ugly one with bent legs.
Don't ask me how. Looks like we all just got some fresh ammunition.
I'm gonna die! Why does he write this down? Oh, God. Oh.
There is a fat bloke from Bolton who is in the pool as I write this.
Shit
He's
without
got a big
ammo.
tattoo on his back, but I can't work out what it is. ... He just got out of the pool and burped. Just felt like you had to give us a breath of that.
Everything's in the diary. I've just seen it get to the point where you're going, breathed in,
Yeah.
Breathed out again.
There was a big fat fella in the sea who kept his t-shirt on. If you're big and fat, is there more chance of you getting burnt because there's more of you on show?
It's like
I asked
camouflage.
Suzanne and
They
she
don't
said she
see us
didn't
so
know
well.
in that sort of not listening kind of way. I wanted to hang about to see if the fat bloke was going to get in the kayak, but Suzanne said we had to head back,
Understand.
slam him way in to see if he's going to capsize. We go home today,
Looks
so we
like
got
we
up
all
early
just
to get
got
the last
loaded
bit
up.
of cloud.
No, it's just that it wasn't. It's not that sunny all the time. I mean, I was sat in weather that if it was like that here, there's no way I'd be sat in the garden. But because you're on holiday, it's like, well, we've got to sit in it. Put your coat on.
So are you going to continue to write this diary? Every single day?
It's amazing. Keep this diary up. It's amazing.
No, I will keep it. Because what I find as well is, I think earlier on before I went away, I think I did learn,
Son of a bitch.
and because I wrote it down, I remembered it a bit.
You behind all these magic potions
So,
too,
what was
German?
I just was thinking then, I forgot it now. But but I remembered looking back at it and not having to read it all because I remembered the end of it before I read it, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, if you've enjoyed the Diary of Carl Pilkington, more next week, I hope. Another week's worth. That's
You hear
amazing.
me?
I'm going to try and get that published. We'll put the odd page up on the web. Go to
You don't get to
lickybase.com.
walk away.
Don't forget to register there as well so we can email you and let you know what's happening. Brilliant.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Hey, fool! Don't give me no back chat, sucker. I ain't here to mess with you. I ain't getting in no plane. I'm here to tell you all about Friday Night Comedy on Channel 4. There's 3 great new comedies. New Green Wing, yeah, fool, that's nearly ready. My Name is Earl, and The It Crowd. They're great new comedy from the creator Father Ted, sucker. Friday Night Comedy, this Friday on Channel 4, fool. Switch it on, or I'll be around your house. You stay up all night shivering, cause you be so mad scared. Fool.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Rick, who
freaks
hosts this
Don't
podcast?
stand a chance.
Rise up positive.
No, I know you're a big fan of Rick.
They're brilliant.
Well, yeah, they are, and I tell you, they're working overtime. So we've had an email from Jake, who's the director at Positive Internet, and apparently he's been in touch with the editor of the Guinness World Records book,
All right.
and he's hoping to see if we can get this podcast in the Guinness World Record breaking section, or the podcast world record breaking section, or whatever they call it. I don't know exactly what record we've broken. I assume it's just sheer number of listeners, is it? Or
Yeah,
been
with
the number
yeah,
one?
it's the number one podcast, and it's the biggest downloaded show ever.
New Ice Age.
Right.
I think that's because people who've only had podcasts for a couple of years.
Yes, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when the next issue comes out. I guess it's sort of December time.
I used to get the Guinness Book Records every year. I love it.
I've never understood why it was such a big seller. I mean, presumably, who's excited to find out whether, you know, I don't know, a man that can balance 3 egg cups in his head is beating the record?
Well, they're real records as well, obviously. I used to go straight for that. I really loved the sort of animals, fastest, strongest, all that sort of thing, biggest.
But aren't they the same every year?
Well, no, they do change. And obviously, there's new entries to keep it exciting. But what annoys me is that it looks like anyone can get in if you're willing to do something that no one else will bother with.
Yeah.
They did one on Big Brother where it was the stacking sugar cubes, and I was thinking, well, no one's going to bother beating that.
No.
There's people that walk around with a milk bottle on their head, and no one's going, oh, I'm a bit jealous of Phil. Why he's broken a record? What, for walking along with a milk bottle on his head? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into training tomorrow. They're ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but I do like the real ones. There was one in there I got on a couple of years ago, and it was about disasters. And there was one where there was some big ornamental incense burners at this thing in I think Thailand or Korea or something. And they fell over and they killed 7 of the congregation. And the headline was biggest joss stick disaster. Now again, there's no one trying to beat that. There's no one going, we need 8.
Yeah.
We need 8 people. We're going for it tonight. What do I have to do? You have to stand quite near those big joss sticks. Okay.
And what record am I breaking again?
We'll tell you after. Also, I think a lot of people waste their energy on this because there's one guy in there that can do the 100 metres in 11 seconds running backwards. And I want to say to him, turn round. Because I think you'd be fast forwards. You know, if you'd have only from the age of 10, sort of, you might be, you know, one of the fastest runners in the world.
Because you're never going to be considered one of the great athletes.
No one knows about him. That's not going to ever be an Olympic sport, running backwards. Or, another 100 metres. Oh, one of them's putting a milk bottle on his head.
Yeah. This is one to watch. There was a guy in there, I've always been fascinated by the guy who had the world's longest fingernails. And they were truly extraordinary, and they went out and they started to curl around, obviously, and in the end they almost looked like sort of there was a big spiral of gnarled old fingernails. But I just thought it just seemed like such a terrible affliction, really, to be walking around, you know, with these giant fingernails. So much you can't do, just missing out on, you know, Jeff, you coming bowling? I can. You know, just so many different things that you miss out on. I've never quite understood who's willing to have this eat into their life. You know, it's going to take over their whole life just so they can have their photo in this book. It seems a very bizarre impulse. Carl, have you ever been tempted by any world-breaking attempts? Do you find them fascinating or futile?
I feel the red haze.
I mean, you don't get
I want to pick a fight.
No. I do it for the pride.
We'll say like the fellow who can run with a milk bottle. Could he get a milk round? Do you know what I mean? I can understand that if you can use the skill, but like you say, if it's getting in the way of your life and that, then what's the point?
There was a kid at school who said, I'm in the Guinness Book of Records. I went, oh yeah. He said, no, I am. And he brought it in. And now I don't know if this is a valid claim. He claimed to have been in the audience for what in this particular edition was labelled, you know, the largest audience ever for a sporting event. Some giant Super Bowl thing. He claimed to have been in the audience. Now, do you think he deserves to say Guinness Book of Records?
Well, sort of. I think that's a lot. As it was the largest audience ever, I think a lot of people would claim that one. I mean,
if he wanted to get a name check from doing that, he would have been best saying, I was sat in the audience in a bath of beans. Because then that would add to it, and you get a little, you know, big add in the picture. So,
he's ridiculous.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Harry from Canterbury wants to know whether any of us have had any cool nicknames. He claims that he's quite tall and rather hirsute, and he says he's often called Lurch or Wolfie. He's always thought that Carl looks a bit like Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
No, there's no potato that round, but I suppose you could fashion a potato to be that round. Maybe we could, if anyone can carve a potato into the roundest head ever, pop a couple of eyes on it.
Make it look as much like Carl.
Exactly.
But yeah, any nicknames? Did you ever have nicknames?
No, mine was boring. I didn't have any. It was just around the name, like Jerv or something like that. No, I didn't have nicknames.
I always wanted a nickname. I just thought it was quite cool for some reason, particularly because gangsters always have nicknames.
Lefty.
Fingers. Scarface.
Yeah.
And so I decided that I thought, because no one was giving me a nickname at school, it was kind of annoying. Well, certainly not to my face. that I decided to just come up with one. So I remember I was at lunch once.
Looks like that
and I
blast
just
wipe
said to
most
my
of 'em
mate
out.
How old were you?
12, 13.
Brilliant.
I just said to him, Phil, don't know if you know, mate, but people aren't calling me Steve anymore. Everyone's calling me Spud now. Now I don't know why I thought Spud. It's weird we should talk about this with Ted. I don't know why I thought Spud was a cool nickname. I think
It's a grown-up name, though, isn't it?
and it's also because I think it sounded like it was probably either something that you'd find in one of those kids' books, like the Famous Five, or like the Bash Street Kids. There'd be Spud, and I always imagine with Spud, he's not the leader of the gang, but he's a reliable member.
I think Spud is the biggest lorry driver in one particular sort of car park.
Yeah.
There he comes Spud.
Yeah.
And he gets out and he's big and massive. And Spud can eat 2 breakfasts.
Exactly, yeah. But I just, in my mind, it was, that I would be one day part of the gang. I'm Pinky, this is Jojo, and the tall guy Spud.
And you know,
it never really caught. And he just went, oh yeah, right. And no one started. And I was hoping he'd go, yeah, I'm calling Steve Spud.
Yeah.
But of course.
Hey, Spud. The first time I said Spud, you go, what?
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be really proud, wouldn't you?
But I think that it kind of, actually in a way, it probably revealed that I just was probably not in people's thoughts enough to get for the nickname to catch on, you know, because you sort of need to be a real player in
I
school.
think you should have gone something more memorable.
What?
No, just...
Well, no, it's good advice, Fatty. Fatty
That's
Potbelly.
the problem, I wasn't fat at school, and I suppose Carl didn't have a round bald head at school, did you? No.
Did you have a nickname?
Not really. I mean, there was a lot of people on the estate that I grew up on. You know, nicknames are big things on estates and that.
Yeah.
A lot of my dad's mates, right? What their nicknames did was tell you about them. Do you know how I said about the Elephant Man's a good name?
Yeah.
Because, like, you know what you're going to get. If someone said Elephant Man, it wouldn't be a shock when he walked in.
Yeah.
Right? So it worked in that sort of thing. You know, so there was John the Screw.
John the Screw.
Yeah.
Whether he had sex or not, or he worked in the prison.
Any other way?
No, he had a live show. So you had him, right? There was Fred the Veg.
Yeah.
Which is
I assume it's because he was at the same IQ as you.
Or he was in a coma.
Yeah.
Right.
There was my uncle, Tattoo Stan.
All right.
Yeah. He had like loads of tattoos that he'd just done himself.
Oh my God.
The problem was, because he did his tattoos himself, the ones on his left arm were really good. Because he was right-handed. On his right arm, rubbish. Right? So there was him.
Great.
And there was Jimmy the Hat.
Jimmy the Hat?
Yeah.
Did he always wear a hat?
No, he didn't. That was the point there. That he never wore a hat.
That's amazing.
Brilliant.
How can you pick up on someone never wearing a hat? How would you ever notice? I'll tell you what, I've noticed something about Jimmy. What?
Go on.
He doesn't wear a hat. Why was he not called Jimmy the Parrot? Because he never carries a parrot.
No, but that's just the way. I mean, that's how they work.
Here comes Jimmy 3 legs. Why'd you do that? He hasn't got 3 legs.
I didn't really have one apart from like I had a CD. You know, like when you go on the radio and chat to people.
Oh, this was a craze in the was it late 70s, early 80s?
Early 80s.
And it was just short band radio, wasn't it? Everyone had these little handsets and they'd speak to each other in the sort of local area.
Yeah, it was mainly. I think it started off with like
lorry
truckers
drivers, isn't it? Yeah, truckers. Yeah, because there was that thing from like that 1970.
Convoy.
It was Convoy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had one of them, and the handle. I had 2
Handleman
nicknames.
is your nickname. Your
Yeah,
name.
there's loads of code stuff.
Yeah.
I had a couple. I had there was Pilkiola. Like I say, there's a lot of Pilkiola. So I just thought, get a number. Someone Pilkio 2, it's open. You know what I mean? And then
that is people scrabbling. I want a Pilkio.
And then because I did boxing and that.
Well, you did it once.
Yeah.
I had Boxer Boy. Because I thought that's quite a good image as well. That's kind of like people going, oh, don't mess with him. You know what I mean? If he asks what your handle is, tell him. You know what I mean? Boxer Boy. So, just had them 2, and I used to just go on there and...
Pointless. What is the point of this?
Well, you just meet people, don't you?
And you don't meet people. You say, what's your handle? You go, Box Boy. What's yours? Rubber Duck. All right, cheers.
No,
it's
but then you'll say, like, then you go, oh, what's your 20?
What's that mean?
Where are you?
What did you say, where are you?
just in case there's someone who's listening in who, you know, you hear about this all the time, don't you? People listening, jotting stuff down.
Oh, right, so just in case someone in the world doesn't know what handle means, they're out of the loop. They're out of the loop.
It's not a difficult code to crack, is it?
Yeah.
If you're trying to track someone.
It's hardly the head of the mafia talking to each other because the FBI are on the wire. It's ridiculous. Like, I go, oh, I keep saying that, wash your handle, and they come back with something. I can't work out what's going on.
No, it's like anything, isn't it? That's what camouflage.
They don't see you so well.
Codes are all about, isn't it?
Go on, and tell me the code then.
Reveal at long last to the world what
Yeah.
these codes are.
Right, so
Yeah.
what's your 20? Where are you?
This is better than the Enigma.
Yeah.
Right, now here we go.
Right.
How many candles do you burn?
Does that mean how big's your car or something like that? Horsepower. Oh, what time is it?
No, how old are you?
What how old are you? Okay.
Right.
How many candles are you burning, of course. So what's the answer come back?
You go,
I'm 15.
14.
Brilliant. That code, there's no one going to work that out. There is no one going to work that one out.
So let's just play through this conversation. Give us an example of how it works.
Right, so you turn it on and that, and you start off, and do something that you said at the start, like
Hello.
just you
Breaker,
got-
breaker.
Yeah, red, blue copy, whatever. Then someone will go, yeah,
No,
His name
I want
was.
to hear because I want to hear the fascinating conversations that Carl must have had.
Yeah.
and you go, alright, it's Boxer Boy, yeah?
What's
And he
your
goes,
20?
What's your 20? And you go, well, just I'm in Manchester.
In the flat.
Oh, right.
And they go, right, yeah. How many candles are you burning? You go, 13.
Oh.
So
That's the end, is it?
then you might sort of say what was it? Something like, what am I burning? Right.
He's burning again.
Confusing, but go on, yeah. What am I burning? The bacon, because I'm busy talking to you, you twat.
That's like what's my power? What strength am I coming in at?
Oh, yeah.
Because then you can tell if they're quite close to you. So if you get someone burning a 1,
Well, you told him. He said, wait, what's your 20? You go, I'm in Macclesfield Street.
Yeah, but
oh,
then-
right.
but then you
Wonder
go-
where they are. We've just told you. Wonder how far away they are.
but then you go, oh, that's interesting, because aren't you burning, burning 3?
The least interesting hobby
do you know what
could ever do.
I wish you'd have kept a diary of this, because this has been fascinating.
Now and again, someone will come in and go side on, right?
What's that mean?
And that means like there's someone sat there listening into this chat and going, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
And they want to join in, so they sort of go side on, you go side on, bring it in, right? And you go, alright.
How many candles are you burning?
Yeah. What's your 20?
That's a cruise round again.
Yeah.
See you later. What's your 20? How many candles are you burning?
Oh.
And, I mean, it seems to me that what you should have done is made a note the first time, so that when you then speak to them again, you don't need to ask them those questions. I just confirm that you're burning 15. It's that time again. Do the jingle.
Ready for a real fight?
Okay. I'm gonna do a really good one.
Okay, go.
Oh, chimpanzees! Monkey news, yeah.
Right, do you know it's nearly time for the Winter Olympics again.
Okay.
Is it? Okay.
They sort of come round every 4 years.
Is it this year, is it?
Yeah. And the last one that happened,
4 years ago.
there was a bit of an incident.
Oh no.
I will know about this.
Where the fuck are you
It's going to be big news because it's a well-known
Televised as well.
Yeah. Do you remember any winners that were monkeys?
So anyway,
It's not going to be that, because it wouldn't be true. Go on.
so anyway, one of the popular events, bobsled.
Okay, right.
It works.
Well, you
It's
need
like a
4
swing.
men. Is it 4 men or 5
4 men.
It's 4. There's definitely 4 men that you need.
Need
on
4
a
men.
team.
Is it and two, and there's 2 teams bobsled.
But they're always men. Is that right? Well, that, yeah.
Anyway, so
human. I think human.
Yeah, it's the Winter Olympics. But
Yeah. Let me just clarify. With the Winter Olympics, you can't have any animals taking part.
no, and they also because they wouldn't be allowed to. There's no way they could disguise it because not only would they see it straight away, right, but they have blood tests
Okay,
which would show up.
so they definitely know if it was
They have
an
blood
alien
tests.
or non-human.
It's impossible. It would be literally impossible to have anything other than a human
Taking
involved in a bobsleigh team.
Fine. Okay, so carry on.
anyway, this country a lot of down because they're trying to shake off this sort of, bad news.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I'm trained
That
for
is not
this.
true.
So anyway, the
country was doing really well in the qualifying stage. But the problem was there was like 2 members who were getting all like the press and stuff.
Oh, right, yeah.
And one of them never got a look in.
I told you.
Anyway, so this one member was getting fed up with the other 2 were getting all the press and what have you. So he said, I'm not happy with this. I'm jacking it in. So they were like, you're joking, we've qualified, we're getting into like the main race and everything. You can't leave us now. And he said, well, you could do it all on your own before, you know, the way you were acting, like, you didn't need me, so I'm going. So they were like,
Well, they need to replace him because there's a certain amount of people needed.
So anyway, so the clock's ticking, it's getting close to the big race and everything. They're like, what are we going to do here?
Substitute they took with us.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, they would take the substitute. So
No, they didn't have any of them and that. It's, you know, a lot of injuries and stuff.
Well, just get a mate to do it, just get a mate or the coach to do it, yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of responsibility on these people and, you know, you wouldn't want to let your country down and that, and like, what are we going to do?
Wait till
Anyway, the time comes for the race. Seems to be 3 people on it.
There appears to be 3.
They start off, they're whizzing around the track faster than normal, they're beating their old record.
Right, amazing.
Because the new fella they've got a little bit smaller.
Ah.
Right,
Is he in the bobsleigh or is he pushing?
He's in it.
Oh, okay.
He's wearing a uniform and a helmet that we
He's got
can't see what he
helmet
looks
on,
like.
he's got the kit on.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who he is, but the
Of course they do.
country's loving it. They're like, well, it looks like we're going to break all our records, you know. It's good that they found someone new. I bet the other fella who left is sort of kicking himself, you know, being part of it. Anyway.
This wasn't that bloke that had very short legs and long arms, was it?
Anyway, what happened is they're whizzing round the track and faster than ever, and the press are like going, beating our records here. They're starting taking photographs. A lot of flashes from the cameras and stuff. Suddenly, the bobsleigh goes a bit sort of mental and whizzes off the track into like all the tyres and stuff.
seem to understand.
They have for protection.
Oh, they left tyres, don't they? Bobsleigh members. Sometimes you can find them swinging in one, or maybe eating a banana.
Ambulance comes rushing over and stuff. The other 2 members are looking pretty nervous for some reason. They're saying, look, don't take the helmet off because you know, you can do more damage to the
Well,
neck.
don't tell the paramedics how to do it.
They know their job.
Yeah,
They know their job.
So they were like, just you know, and plus, you know, he came in at last minute to help us out. He doesn't want everyone to know who he is. He's not after the limelight, like some of the members we used to have. But he just was helping his country out. Leave the helmet on. Anyway, they get him in the ambulance and stuff. The other 2 are looking a bit worried and what have you. They're gutted. They lost the race.
The little bloke, is the bloke not saying anything? Is he not?
He's in the ambulance now.
Is he not saying anything now?
Anyway, word got out from one of the ambulance drivers a few weeks down the line, once all the dust had settled on the Olympics and stuff, like Newsday and stuff.
Yeah.
It was reported that one of the ambulance drivers said that on that sort of dreadful night, when you know the country lost out on a medal in the bobsleigh, he sort of reported that there was a monkey in the back of the ambulance.
You behind all these magic potions too, German?
Well, this is it, you see, because he sort of swept it under the carpet a little bit. They were like, this is crazy talk.
Bullshit.
This is crazy talk.
Once talk, absolute shit. Where'd you get this from?
This is crazy talk, right?
It is crazy talk, and it's from the mouth of Carl Pilkington.
But the weird thing is that backs it up. The following week, there was a story. Some people who visited the zoo saw a chip in the necklace. And that's this week's Monkey News.
Bollocks.
Hasta la vista, baby. I'll be back. I'm here to tell you about Friday Night Comedies on Channel 4. There's 3 great comedies. New Green Wing, it's nearly ready. My name is Earl and the It Crowd, the great new comedy from creator of Father Ted. Get your ass to Mars. Friday Night Comedy this Friday on Channel 4. Switch it on. I'll be back. Who's the 9mm? Cause it did it, boys.
Was touching me. The second was sticking around.
Well, that's the end of another podcast. Thanks very much from me, Ricky Gervais, with me, Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Carl Pilkington. And thanks again to those guys at Positive Internet who host this podcast, the world's #1 podcast. We'd also like to congratulate Steve Carell from the American office, who won a Golden Globe.
Yes, congratulations, Steve, and obviously everyone involved with the American office. And for our American listeners, if you haven't checked out the American office on NBC, it's dynamite. It really is a cracking show. I don't know if you're a fan of the original, but if you are, even if you're not, Just watch it. It's great. It gets better and better week by week. I think
It's absolutely
hilarious.
brilliant. That's NBC. I think that's Thursday night. That's got to be the first time Golden Globe won by two different people from the same country.
I think you're probably right, mate.
Cheers.
Hey, congratulations again for winning it all those years ago.
Two. Bye.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
You don't seem to understand.
IT team! A user is video editing on the way to a meeting.
On the go is fine. Her laptop runs AI features in her video editing software. Plus, the AI workload runs on her PC, not the cloud. With AI-powered security pre-detecting threats, so sensitive information is safe.
Unlock the power of AI on business PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors and Intel V Pro. No product can be absolutely secure. Learn more at intel.co.uk/IT-heroes.
Yes, my people, it's Chance.
And it's Philly.
And we're back with the Chance and Philly show. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I feel quite ill.
Yeah, I heard you trying to sing Akon.
Yeah,
actually feeling bad.
Yeah, no, I actually feel
Not
ill.
the mood for this shit.
I had a show in Netherlands as well.
Oh, yeah, I saw
I
you
was
did that.
doing a bumper seat out there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I got lucky because when I started performing, it's like my nose cleared up a little bit. Second I come off stage, clogs back up.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I've been good, man.
Yeah, did you meet Jacquees and Eric Bellinger?
No. Do you know what my problem was, Chunks?
High maintenance.
No, I don't know what Eric looks like. I don't know what he looks like. So like, how am I meant to like go, yo, brother, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, best friends, a good
Yeah,
friend.
by the way, guys, I don't know if you know Eric Bellinger. He's one of my favourite artists, so I told Philly, tell him that I love him. And he didn't know how he looked like. So it's all good, not a problem, nothing to worry about.
£4 for lunch. For new cheeky little £4 for lunch. For new cheeky little pizzas from Domino's. For hot and cheesy wraps. For you. For Fin in Finance. For Sid on Security. For lunching at the laptop. Lunch for just £4 at Domino's. High fours all round. Order ahead on our app.
Domino!
£4 per item. Collection and delivery. Minimum delivery spends, charges and areas may apply.
You seriously believe in voodoo?
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out!
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Gonna be a long, hard winter for you.
This is a good way to open up the podcast, because Jamie is an expert on all things Black Twitter.
Well,
What's going on, Jamie?
I don't know. There's a lot going on. A lot of rumors are flying.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
Situation here.
The thing is, like, we're getting the rumors from the internet, and the internet thinks that the Taliban took out that bridge in Baltimore. So it's like, who fucking knows? Who knows what's real?
That's what Diddy's lawyers are thinking. These trucked up charges are trucked up all the rest of that, like bullshit charges.
Dude, when Homeland Security invaded your house, you got fucked with dudes with fucking guns and body armor. There's
You don't seem to understand.
They weren't
I'm
there.
trained for this.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these fucking conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers. It is fun to talk about. It's hard to know what's true. But why people genuinely love it when someone like Diddy gets caught. The glee that people have is weird. Why? Because he's too successful. Also, it's like there was always so much East Coast, West Coast shit that's still like in the zeitgeist. You know, like with Biggie and Tupac, and they were all hating at each other, and they both got killed, and there was a lot going on. And then there's people that thought that Puffy was involved, and Suge Knight was involved. What the?
About that, they were there to delete stuff.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right? You know who said? Luke from 2 Live Crew?
Yeah, he said he was to leave early.
Yeah.
Or something, man.
When Luke from 2 Live Crew
is leaving early. Like, you got a wild party.
Let's make these bullets count.
If what's happening is too fucked up for Luke from 2 Live Crew? Check, please. There's so many different stories. Who knows?
What are you gonna do?
I'm not doing it.
We're not involved in it. I was never at Diddy's party. I don't even know the motherfucker.
We're out
I don't
here
want to know nobody.
telling
I don't know
jokes.
nobody.
Telling jokes.
Like I told you.
Having fun.
That's it.
Yeah.
Smoking dope, cracking jokes, making people.
That's
Everything
it.
else is background music. And living in LA, you have all this shit that's going on. That's what you have your life, and then you have all this shit that goes in and out of your ears all fucking day, and you're like, I just want to do something.
You also have those celebrity environments where celebrities all get together, and there's so many of them, in these wild parties. And if you got a wild party, and P. Diddy puts on that wild party, and he sets everybody up. Like if you were an intelligence agent, like a Jeffrey Epstein type deal, that'd be the way to do it. Big old crazy party, get everybody loose,
And get the
get
cameras
them the
rolling.
yayo, get them the yayo.
And everything else.
Get them everything you need. Get fired up. Get those cameras rolling. Now you got everybody in there. What a twisted web some folks weave. You all right over there?
Yeah.
You gotta concentrate. That is a skill that I never picked up. The roll your own skill. Never picked it up.
Sometimes you got no choice but to pick it up.
Yeah, no, I should have.
You're sitting there with reefer,
I admire people that do it. When I see a person that can roll a solid joint, I'm like, that's an exceptional person. It's like a person who can play guitar. I'm like, oh, you took the time.
There's a level of skill with it too. Some people can roll some nice ones.
Oh yeah,
They look
man.
like they're done by a machine.
I've seen dudes in Instagram driving their car rolling with one hand.
That's
next level.
Yeah, that's next level.
That's next level. Charlie Murphy could roll a hell of a blunt. Charlie Murphy's one of those guys. You know who else rolls a hell of a blunt? Lewis.
Not looking good.
Louis Gomez.
Yeah.
Gomez rolls a hell of a blunt. And he does it the real way. He doesn't just split the spliff and open it up and lick it. No. He takes the paper out and he makes, cuts it. Like he'll unravel a cigar and then take the tobacco paper and cut it and wet it and get it down.
It's like free base and coke. I gotta run it through a sock, then it's gotta dry. No, just give me the fucking reefer. I like smoking blunts, but that's what gave me pneumonia last summer. I started smoking blunts.
Yeah? It gave you pneumonia?
Pneumonia,
Really?
pneumonia.
Do you think it's definitely from that?
It was that and the sleep. It was a bunch of shit. What it really was that mask.
Oh.
And the sleep mask.
Oh.
I cleaned that motherfucker
Abscesses
for 20
are
years.
dangerous.
Dog, I'm shooting a fucking movie with Kevin. And bullets. In my mouth, because I was shooting Kevin.
Oh, you had no idea.
No, I'm spitting blood and pus. I'm like, and then I started feeling sick.
Oh, no.
Thank
so it
God
gets
we
in your
wrapped.
bloodstream.
Thank God we wrapped. I'm like, I'm not going to make it home. I couldn't even drive. I got home, I went right to sleep. The next day I got up and went right to the doctor. And that started, because doctors aren't, now they send you to 20 different places. So by the time you get there, you know what this started with the pneumonia?
What?
They saw a fucking thing in my kidney. What's that when you have a...
Kidney stones?
Kidney stone.
Yeah.
They go, we got to start drinking whatever. I'm like, kidney stones.
Yeah.
Then I went to another doctor and he's like, you're not a kidney stone. There's something wrong with the bottom of your lung.
Oh.
And there's a cyst in your heart.
A cyst?
Something that kept growing over the years, like a little boil by one of the valves.
Oh, geez.
All right, then he sent me for another one. Then finally, Heisenberg fucking sent me to the real deal, and he goes, this eliminates everything. When I left there, I thought he was going to say we're going to put in a stent and all this shit. He goes, no, just aspirin. Just want you to go on a baby aspirin.
Really?
That's it. He goes, your heart's perfect, you're good. That's it. My calcium score was good, which was very fucking surprising, I stopped eating bacon in the mornings.
Yeah? How come?
I do an avocado toast instead. I do avocado toast with an egg and a bowl of fruit. That's good. That's perfect.
good.
I used to eat a cheese omelet with French fries, with 10 pieces of bread with butter on it. So this works.
This is better.
This works.
Yeah. That's
So
definitely better. Get them healthy fats.
Yeah. How good is that sushi place we went to?
Oh my God.
Shout out to Yuki Hand Roll.
Jesus Christ. The fucking, when you got up to go to the bathroom is when he dropped my robe. I'm like, whose is this? It was just a fucking chunk. And especially now with this new economics, that sushi's getting smaller and smaller and
It is in a lot of places.
This fucking, there was 2 hunks of fucking tuna there.
Yeah,
I'm full.
Big. They give you big pieces at Yuki. And the guy came from Nobu, super sweet guy, really nice.
You guys have put together a hell of a fucking thing. Remember, we've been coming here since 19. And we used to come here, we used to just go to Papados.
Yep.
And there was one other place we went to. The Mexican joint, Papacitos.
Yep.
And that's it. And that was where we went for 3 fucking days. Now look what you got here.
Yeah.
It's like an empire. You guys were talking in the green room last night about all the different restaurants. And you guys didn't stop.
Moved here. So many people
Didn't stop. You guys did not. Everybody had a suggestion. How about this place? You asked for a steak here, 8 people raised their hands. Mexican food. Go to that place, Fusion.
There's so many good steakhouses in town that people forget. You know, you go, oh, you got Jay Carver's, right? Perry's, Bob's.
There's excitement now.
Three Forks.
Yeah. Very exciting. You know, the last 2 nights, the store in its heyday, like 2019, 2018, I gotta be honest. I would do my spots, and I would have to go to the kitchen and sit and do it myself.
£4 for lunch. For new cheeky little pizzas from Domino's. For hot and cheesy wraps. For you. For Finning Finance. For sit on security. For lunching at the laptop. Lunch for just £4 at Domino's. High fours all round. Order ahead on our app.
Domino!
£4 per item. Collection and delivery. Minimum delivery spend, charges and areas may apply.
And I would just watch to think that this was really happening.
Yeah.
Because it would assault all your, like it was just so much. It was celebrities.
Yeah.
I remember one night half of UFC was there.
Yeah.
You know, like you look around, there's fucking 8 guys in the UFC right there, and you're like, what the fuck is happening here? What the fuck are all these people, you know? The last 2 nights, I had to leave early. And you go home and you can't sleep.
Yeah.
Last night when you text me, I was awake. I got home at fucking 11. I couldn't sleep from everything. I was writing and fucking thinking, coming on his head and fucking. You know, it's what stand-up does to you at night is, you know, you can't not be a fucking early riser with stand-up. Because even if you do an 8 o'clock show, unless you're a fucking mope, you're thinking about that set.
Yeah.
Even when you're eating with your friend, you know where you want we put it. Even though you did great, that one joke didn't work, you're thinking about how you can make it better. That's what I missed. I didn't miss the plane, I didn't miss the hotels.
Right.
I missed having 4 ideas and starting to get on stage and trying to connect those 4 ideas together. And then if those 4 ideas get connected together, I'm just saying, 4 ideas, 3 different premises.
Right.
It's the best feeling. It's better than sex.
It's incredible
better than
feeling.
sex. And that's what I missed. Everything else I didn't look at. They hate it. No.
Well, there's a relationship with the audience that's so pure. Because, you know, they know you. Like, they really know you. They know you from podcasts. They know you from your bits. They fucking know you. They know you from conversations. They get it. And then they're watching you put together this thing that's really for them. It's for you because you create it and, you know, you get paid to say it and you get this great feeling that you did it. But for a person like a fan, like when I was watching you last night, as a fan, like I got to see a bunch of new shit that you were doing that I was telling you was killing me. But it's a beautiful feeling. It's a great feeling when someone that you really love who's really funny, who's got new stuff and they're killing it. And it's just like this atmosphere. So there's 250 people. We're all sharing this moment. So it's super positive in like all ways. It makes people feel better. They leave that place, they feel better. And so when you know that you can do that, then you get together in the green room afterwards. You're like, this one bit is like something missing. It's fucking. There's something clunky about it. It just feels fake. It feels like it's too I gotta rework it. And then you start from scratch, you figure it out, but it's just because you want to get to that place where the fan, the audience is like, yes, You hit them with some shit they didn't see coming, and or they get to see some shit that maybe you did 6 months ago, but now it's tight.
It's tighter.
Yeah, now it's got all these new punchlines and new avenues you can take it to.
The worst is when you, 3 years later, get a bit, and you're like, you know what? I wish I could use that bit now.
Right.
That bit I did 3 years ago fits right in here now. So you might get it.
Where the fuck are you guys?
Yeah, but sometimes just shove it in there anyway. Who cares? Just because it fits, it's perfect. It's funny. The whole idea is just be as funny as possible.
Yeah,
You're always supposed to be coming up with new material for sure, but you know, I don't mind when somebody busts out a little bit.
The other night when I got here, I got to land at 11:30. I love it. I told it to when I got in that car, you should have seen that. It was live.
Yeah.
Fucking tons of people coming. I was like,
not in the mood for this shit.
This airport used to be a sleepy fucking hut.
You freaks ready for a
Yeah,
ride
the
this
whole
night?
town. The pandemic changed the whole town. You know, and then a lot of the tech companies moved here too. That was a big part of it. A lot of these young people just didn't want any part of San Francisco anymore.
Who would want to live there?
Who would want to live there? It's dangerous. It's weird. You know, Elon was saying 5 of his friends have been assaulted or robbed. 5.
You can't lock your car.
Yeah, you gotta leave your car open.
Window
Smash
open
your windows.
because they're gonna smash it. How do you live like that?
They basically empowered mental patients or drug addicts to just live on the street and shit everywhere and harass people. And there's no signs that they're turning it around. They don't seem to be turning it around at all, except for when Xi Jinping came to town. I told him if I was the mayor, I'd buy Xi Jinping a condo. Like, when he's in town, everything's clean. When he came to San Francisco, they moved all the tents. They put up fences so people couldn't put tents back up. They cleaned the streets. And Gavin Newsom was like, well, when you have guests come over, you clean up your house. Like, what? What a crazy gaslighting spin on a fact that you could have fixed this the whole time. And you chose not to until the dictator comes to town.
You know, and my criminal head guy used to move around. I ended up in San Francisco. August of 80. I was in Boulder, the cops were looking for me. And I said, fuck it, where do I go? I went to the airport and I picked a spot. And I go, what's the closest flight here leaving? San Francisco. All right, get me to San Francisco. And I went up there. And I went right to the Tenderloin, Joe. And it was buck wild. I mean, for a New York City kid to look at you and go, you can't. I still remember in 1985, they had a place called Coffee Ron's. That was a topless coffee place.
Yeah.
With the ugliest titties you've ever seen in your fucking life. I mean, they weren't award-winning titties. Soggy, they looked like a puppy was going to milk on them, but they had that.
Yeah.
And they were open 24 hours, right down the block.
It was a wild city.
It was wild. And up the corner were hookers for fucking miles.
It had a stand-up scene, but it never had a stand-up scene like Boston or New York.
No,
or
but it
LA.
was a good stand-up scene.
Solid scene.
Yeah. they had,
Robin
like,
Williams came out of there. Who else?
Slayton. We were just talking about the Korean girl.
Margaret Kim?
Margaret Cho.
Margaret Cho.
Her mother had a bookstore downstairs or something. A couple funny guys came out of Frisco. That's the comedy.
Sorry, Margaret.
The comedy
blame that.
festival really was great up there. It really did a lot for a lot of
I
comedy.
never went to that one.
I did it. I quit.
Yeah?
4 nights. You know, what am I doing? I'm sleeping on the beach. I'm paying for my own hotel. And the judges are comedians from San Francisco. And I'm coming in fucking 12th every night because they don't know me. These guys are coming in first. You know, the judges are hugging them, smoking dope.
What year was this? You did
97-ish, 98. I drove home. I went to the Comedy Store. They let me go up. And I went to the House of Blues and saw Celia Cruz. Instead of fucking... I left Thursday
House
night.
of Blues used to be the shit.
The shit.
We used to go across the street and
Across
watch
the
killer bands.
Fucking unbelievable.
It was
Free.
amazing.
Just walked in.
Yeah, hey
Come
guys.
on over.
Yeah, they just
come
let
on
us in. It was
Fuck.
amazing.
I went to see one of my mother's friends then. My mother's friend was this Cuban dude, Patato Totito. They're huge in Cuba. And he was playing there by himself. He had to be like 70.
Before I forget, what is your cousin's band in Cuba? That band?
Emma Alfonso. Emmy.
Emmy Alfonso.
She had some new shit. She was just here. She came down for class.
I want to put them on the Spotify list. Their
Yeah.
shit is banging,
They
but I
came,
couldn't
she
remember.
came here for fucking South by Southwest.
Really?
Yeah, she was in South by Southwest.
How do you say it? How do you spell
Emmy, E-M-E,
E-M-M-Y?
E-M-E.
E-M-E?
A-L-F. Alfonso. A-L-F-O-N-S-O.
Got it. Bam. There it is.
Can you believe that's my family up there? The Instagram shot.
What's a good song that I should put on the Spotify playlist?
That's my family, bro. That's my legitimate fucking family. That guy on the far left is my mother's brother. That's his son that owns La Factoria in Cuba, the big club where you go to. That's his sister, and that's my aunt.
Wow.
That dude is 80 years old, and he's still a musician, plays congas.
Wow.
You know, the whole fucking thing. Emmy lives in, Eki, the guy with the dreads, my cousin, he lives like in fucking Germany or some shit.
Really?
Yeah, he don't even go to Cuba. He goes to Cuba to pick up a check or something like that.
Is he allowed to go in and out?
He's a band member.
Oh, okay.
He just says
he
he's
can
playing
get away
a
with it?
band and fucking...
Give me what song should I pick?
Oh, my
for the
God.
Playlist. How's Keep Your Head Up?
Not today.
The one that you really liked that time was the one when she's walking.
Which one's that? All right, let's all screenshot this. I'll come back to it later. I'll put some of them on Spotify.
And while I got you, can we look at the car?
Oh, yeah.
Steven
Joey wants to
Seagal
look
in the movie with the Jamaicans.
With
Joey Screwhead.
Jamie said he had a 69 Mach 1.
I didn't say 69. I didn't know
He
what
said
it was.
Mach 1.
Mach 1.
He said MAC, and I was like, that's probably Mach 1. It's an old muscle car, right?
Yes, sir.
It's probably.
Oh,
okay, that's a 70. That's a 70.
I like that, Joe.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
How fast is that?
Oh, it's fast as fuck. They handle like shit. But that's the 69. That's the one John Wick had. The 70, it's not quite as good looking. But still, great fucking car. I forgot about this scene. Oh, they crushed it with 2 trucks. Damn it.
I forgot the name of this movie, but it's god awful. Mark Fidette. Screwface.
This movie's so bad.
It's really bad. And then he kills him. Then he comes back from life. I'm like, all right, that's it.
He kills him and he comes back from the dead, right?
Screwhead, Screwface or something. Yeah.
Oh, he lights him on fire and he has to escape. This is so dumb. But this is skinny Steven Seagal. These are at least more believable movies until they went completely sideways. All right, he's going to sneak out. He's going to get out. The guy with the tractor never crushes him. Goddamn, Tom Segura's got to stop sending me videos. Tom Segura sent me this video of this dude smushing somebody with a tractor, running the tractor right through him.
I don't want to see that shit.
I don't want to see it either, but Tom Segura thinks I do. Every day we freak each other out. I find the worst shit that I see on Instagram. By the way, Instagram is wild right now. I mean, buck wild with murder and animal attacks and bombs exploding on people and terrorist attacks and riots, and it's like you can find everything on Instagram now. And these are accounts that I don't even follow. So they know my brain is a mess. So they're just sending me the most horrible shit. And I just get it all day long. I saved one just for you.
The only, we could watch it. The only fucking thing that amazes me about Instagram, I don't know what's going on. But if you go to look, this section here, will break it down for me.
The explore section,
This
the
one
search.
Here, that there.
Yeah.
I still can't put together these women. Are they hookers? Are they just showing their
First
bodies?
of all, some of them might. Look at this one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Like that. What are they
got
doing?
Fake babies. They got fake babies. So they pull their tits out to breastfeed fake babies. So it's like a hack. So they can. What's that? Link in bio. Yeah, you go in that bio, bam, and then there's it's probably an OnlyFans. And let's see, 18 plus. Yes, we are. And then Love Me. It's a different one. Oh, it's a dating. Oh, you're done. You're done. You have a virus on your computer right now. We need to blow up that computer. We'll take that computer to the range, fill it full of lead. So they just rope you in. They get lonely, lost guys, and they see this girl breastfeeding a rubber baby, and they dump. I mean, that's how Andrew Tate made all his money. Coming in hot, a bunch of titties, lots of titties.
Then they got the other girls that flip the camera around and show their monkey and then show their face. And I can't figure out what the fuck that's about either. I'm like, why are they doing this? Why they show their face and they flip it? They show their underwear monkey and then they flip back and they start talking to you. I'm like, why are they doing that?
OnlyFans. Yeah, they're trying to get you to go to their website or OnlyFans or whatever that website was. It's just a bunch of girls that get hired, I'm sure, I'm guessing, but this is what I imagine. They get hired by an agency or some company, and they put a fake name to them, and they say link in bio. You go to the link in the bio, and you go to some porn site, or you go to some dating site, or you go to some OnlyFans type site. And lost guys who don't have any money, or they don't have anybody with them, they're sad, they give up all their cash. They get hundreds of thousands of dollars off these dopes. And the way Andrew Tate was doing it, he would have the girls sit in front of the keyboard typing with their tits out, and then him and his friends would be over on the side and they would be typing all the shit. 'Cause they knew what the guy wanted to hear. So they would type all the things to the guy, and the guys would just donate money. And they were making millions. Millions. Yeah, it's crazy. But you know, it's one of those things where there's certain kind of scams where I think they should be legal. Like televangelists. Like late night preachers.
Yeah.
It's so obvious, it should be legal. Like if they're getting you with that, I don't have a problem. I've never called for like the banning of televangelists. Like, you know, when they're like, God told me I need a private jet. There's no way I can do the Lord's duty flying commercial. And these guys, they'll fucking sell it. They'll sell it. This one guy was telling people that if they're broke, they have no money, if they just send whatever they can, everything they have, God will bless them with 10 times more. He just kept saying that. So he was trying to get people that would literally had nothing. And if you send me, the guy in the $5,000 suit with the big pinky ring, if you send me your money, whatever you have left, God will bless you 10 times over.
I don't believe the banning of anybody who could take money out of your pocket. You know that? Because if you're that fucking stupid, it's like, who raised you?
It gets to a certain level where I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Like financial market stuff. Like when people are pulling stock schemes and pumping dumps and things like that. Yeah, that's different.
That's different.
That's different. And then you're actually getting
no, I'm not talking
intelligent
about those.
people,
Yeah.
like Bernie Madoff.
Right. No.
You're actually getting intelligent people.
That fucking rob you.
Yeah, they just trusted you. and
I'm
they
talking
thought-
about like when an African sends you a text message and says,
Yeah.
fucking come bail me out. If
Yeah.
you send me 500, you're going to inherit $80 million.
Yeah.
You know how many people get, every year 60 Minutes has a fucking expose
Yes.
about some African that's taking money from fucking people, and they keep doing it. It's
Speaking
like
of which, I should probably bring this up. There's a lot of people that are getting emails from a scammer saying that they're being invited onto this podcast.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
A dear friend of mine keeps asking me, what the fuck is this about?
Yeah, hundreds of people. I don't know how many people have been contacted. And it's more than one account that's doing it. And I think it's some sort of a scam to get your Facebook information or some sort of information or credit card information or something. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. We will never ask you for anything like that. And if we contact you, it'll be obvious. It's obvious also that whoever the person is writing these things, at least in the ones that have been sent to me, it seems like English is their second language. They don't seem to know exactly how to phrase things in a way that an American would phrase things. So it seemed a little obvious to me that it was shifty and a lot of obvious to a lot of other people, but a bunch of people sent it to me.
Because I had one I was going to show you. I think I erased it. He sent it to me yesterday. And he was like, yeah, ask them. They keep sending me these fucking things. And the Joe Rogan Experience. He doesn't know.
Yeah, it's just scammers. You know, they reach out to you through Instagram, or, you know, they find out you follow me, or maybe I talked about you on the podcast, or maybe something like that. And then next thing you get a letter. Yeah.
You know,
there's scammers out there, man. I mean, the Nigerians are the best at it. I mean,
that's where it was invented. They're the best at it. They are the best.
When did they first start email scamming people? Probably right after email got invented. Like
I don't know.
when was the first Nigerian prince email scam? Because it's always like, I have all this money, but I need like
Yeah,
$1,000
$500 to get it out.
If you help me get it out,
Yeah.
you get 10 million.
I can't get mad at you for something like
Right,
that. 'Cause
right.
you look at that and you giggle. You look at that and you giggle. Any of that stuff online, you have to look at. I don't press nothing online. If you send me a Facebook message and I click on something, I don't click. I don't touch it.
Good.
I don't open it. When that shit starts happening, when things start popping up,
Yeah.
that's when I turn off the computer.
Yeah.
I hit a button that I should not fucking hit.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't go into any of those things.
Yeah.
Even friends of mine that send me shit, I'm busy.
Yeah.
You know, if you
That's smart. Yeah.
Too many of them. Where the fuck are you guys?
Really? When did it start?
1910.
Wow. The Nigerian started in the 1900s?
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't.
1910?
Yeah.
The origins of the Nigerian print scam date back to 1910 when it went by another name, the Spanish prisoner swindle. Oh, back then victims received a message as a letter in the mail rather than on the internet, but the same basic structure between the two scams remains the same. Between both scams remain the same. The Spanish prisoner swindle centers around a wealthy foreign nobleman who is in prison for political reasons. The nobleman claims to know the location of a lost treasure and that he's willing to share this treasure with the victim. The problem is he's in prison and needs the victim to send him money so he can bribe his way out. Wow. Interesting. There's always been people like that. But you know what the problem is? The problem is there are people in this country. What was the number that we Googled that have a IQ lower than 85? It's pretty high.
Take a deep breath and drift off into a deep slumber. Listen to me, Sir Lenny Henry, and Rest Easy Stories, and you'll be sound asleep in seconds. Each episode delves deep into the wonderful world of Premier Inn sleep, from super soft sheets to our plump pillows. It is the stuff of dreams. Search Rest Easy Stories on Spotify. Premier Inn, sleep is our thing.
15%. So imagine 15% of people that you can basically trick with anything. Get them to join a cult, get them to sign up for some fucking telemarketing swindle.
Do you think it's IQ or do you think it's...
IQ is interesting, right? Because IQ doesn't necessarily mean intelligence, because it depends upon your education. Because some of the questions in IQ tests are predicated on a knowledge of math and understanding of like how to do equations and certain things that you learn in school. But there's intelligence that is social intelligence, intelligence in terms of being able to see what the problems are in a certain choice you make, or what the up benefits are of a different choice. There's people that are strategizers, and they're really good at like business. They're really good at figuring people out. They're really good at figuring themselves out. Stuff. There's an intelligence to that. So the problem with IQ, in my mind, is I know a lot of people with very high IQs, but their life is a clumsy mess. So it's like, it really is dependent upon what is the mental horsepower you have, and how are you applying that mental horsepower? Are you Gary Clark Jr. and applying that mental horsepower to music, and you're a genius, but you're a genius in music? Or are you Lex Friedman and you're making, artificial intelligence and working coding robots? Are you Elon Musk? You're making spaceships. Like, what are you doing with this intelligence? So IQ, there's limitations of it, but at least it's an indicator of how smart a person is. It's an indicator. It's not the only indicator. There's other factors that I think are much more intangible. They're much harder to measure and weigh. That's my take on it. I think it means something.
I think if your parents opened up your eyes, something. It's like I do that bit, and it's true. I really do. I'm mad at my guidance counselor. I really am, deep down inside, because, he was telling you all about those job possibilities and college possibilities. But he only forgot to tell us about New York being right across the river and all the possibilities you had over there. I would have done this shit early.
You mean stand-up?
Everything.
Yeah.
I would have tried anything earlier.
The thing is, no one's ever gonna advise that you take the riskiest chance in show business. No one's ever going to advise that you.
I didn't want to be a show business guy, but I wish you would have told me, you know, you want to take acting lessons, you go to the city.
That's show business.
I didn't know. I didn't know that fucking, when I'd watch a movie, I thought you just walked on the fucking thing and they gave you a part. That's how stupid I was when I was young.
It's not stupid. It's uninformed.
I thought
right?
when the stand-up did a special, I thought he just showed up. And they had a camera and he goes, I'm ready. And that's what I thought. I didn't think any, you know, I didn't really know. I'm mad that he didn't open up. I see the kids I grew up with. You got to see the people around. And some of us saw some things and some of us didn't. Some of us saw a path that was different than just getting a job and working 40 years and getting a watch. You know, I don't think they opened up our minds to that stuff. Like, there was a lot of stuff that we didn't. In my house, she would fucking tell. Like, my mother was crazy. When I was 6, she would put a fucking gold chain on me that belonged to a man. And she'd make me put it out. And she'd go, I want you to walk the streets like that so if somebody fucks you, you know. I mean, and now I think about these stories and I go, what was she doing?
Right. Why was she getting you to go outside with a valuable piece of jewelry around your neck as a little kid?
I remember one night I was getting ice cream on 88th Street and the gold chain was hanging. And when I went to get the cone from Mr. Softy, he goes, that's a nice chain. And he looked at it. My mother was watching from the window. She was like, punch him in the fucking face. I'm like, 8. I'm like, 8. Don't let nobody touch your face. Like she was, she just did things, you know? Like, don't go in a car with people. Like, just general shit that they banged into your fucking head.
Well, that's good. All that stuff's good.
I was out there. Like, I was out there every fucking day, you know?
It's different kind of intelligence, right? Street smarts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Like and it's also informed. You're informed. You're informed about the dangers of your environment. And some people, if they grow up in the suburbs and they go to really nice schools, they're lost in those environments. They don't understand the rules.
Look, I'm worried about it.
You should be.
Listen, I didn't know this. I just spoke to somebody in my old neighborhood. And we were talking about something. They go, you should see the neighborhood at 2:30. Fucking you can't drive. And I go, why? She goes, McKinley School, where I went. She goes, the parents pick them up with cars. I go, what are you talking about? We walked those streets home. There was just 3 blocks. It's a block from the neighborhood. She goes, not anymore. Those kids don't walk those streets at all. And they live right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like across town, like, you know. You got to get those kids out.
Yeah, they got to get out of the house, for
We got to get them out.
How many kids are just at home playing video games?
Oh, that drives me fucking crazy when my daughter goes knocking on people's doors and they're like, no, well, they're inside playing video games. You know, it's 70 fucking degrees out.
Yeah.
And I just called Mr. Softy. He's on his way. What the fuck? Yeah, I got Mr. Softy's number in my neighborhood. First time I met him, I gave him an edible, and he's like, where are you at? And I told him.
Does it ring? Does it ding, 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 ding?
But he comes too early. He comes at 4. People still, you know, they're still at work. But when that motherfucker comes, Mr. Softy, I would give him edibles. Those ABX edibles. And tell him, put them in my milkshake. And he blended in the milkshake.
That's hilarious.
So, you know, intelligence, yeah, like, I know a lot of people are fucking smart, but they make mistakes.
Yeah, they make big decisions.
You go, what the fuck?
In your life, you know, relationship decisions, business decisions, friendship decisions. Intelligence is complicated. It's very complicated. But the point is, some people, their mental horsepower is very low. It's not a matter of what they apply themselves to. It's a matter of they don't have the resources. Their brain doesn't work good. And I've met a lot of people like that, and I know you have too, where you're like, this guy ain't never going to be a genius. There's no inspiration in him. There's nothing enthusiastic. He doesn't have a thing he's really into. Doesn't have a thing he likes. He's just dull-minded, for whatever reason. I don't know if it's genetics. I don't know if it's just a roll of the dice, or maybe the way he was raised. I don't know. But some people they don't have a good brain. They just don't. So those guys, they get that fucking Nigerian prince email, they're like, this is it. This is my ticket out of here. They start fucking scraping up coins, putting quarters and rolls, bringing them to the bank.
I believe in faith. Like, if you're broke and you go put $2 in a picket ticket because there's $175 billion, I believe in that. I believe in all that type of stuff, Joe. But
that's the biggest scam in the world.
What's that?
Lottery.
Well, I'm not talking, even when I was a kid, the numbers. 3 numbers,
Yeah,
you put
numbers.
$5, you win $2,500, okay? In those small you know, in the 70s and 60s in the black communities, Spanish communities,
Italian communities.
Italian communities. That's a way of hope.
Yeah.
Your Sicilian grandmother wakes up one morning and says, "Oh my God, I had a dream about peppers."
Yeah.
Okay, peppers, and all of a sudden your her grandmother yells, "Peppers, that's 68."
Yeah.
You know, and all of a sudden you're like, put a prefix on it, 568, and you know, this is your trip to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
This is your trip to buy. This is your chance to buy your son a car. It's like that little faith that you have, but it's something that you have a chance at.
It's fun too.
It's fun, you know.
The problem is same thing as the problem with drinking, same thing as the problem with everything else, is that people lose their fucking minds.
It's an excess.
And then it becomes everything. I told you about my grandmother, right? With the numbers?
Yeah. Wasn't she a loan shark?
She went to jail. My grandmother went to jail for 6 months because she wouldn't rat out the people that were running the numbers. Yeah. We'd go to visit Grandma. Where's Grandma? Grandma's visiting Aunt Josie. Like, she was with Aunt Josie for 6 months. It was ridiculous. Yeah, she was knitting for the fucking guards in prison. She wouldn't rat. So they put her away for 6 months.
For bookmaking. Yeah, that's it. So those immigrants, those people with dreams, I see that. But somebody just fucking calling you and going, "Hey, if you lend me $5, or telling a evangelist, whatever the fuck you're saying." Dog, I'm even like, I hate to say this in public, but I'm down on like fucking charities and shit.
Well,
because they don't get the fucking money either unless you donate to St. Jude or something like that. You know, some guy's driving a BMW, and the people I sent the money to, you know, and it's happened to us. We saw it, we gave money, and nothing happens, and you're like, what the fuck, guys? So now you just give it direct.
Have you ever seen those charts that show like what the money you give to charity, how much actually goes to the cause? How much of it is just overhead? It's in some places it's like 90%.
It's ridiculous.
So it's like 10% of the money goes to the charity. It's a very inefficient thing. And then you have things where the people that are running it are making enormous salaries. And then they're like, look at the Black Lives Matter thing, where the girls were buying $6 million houses. Like, what the fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing? What are you doing? They're like, oh, we use this for events. It's just, that happens with so many charities and so many charitable organizations. And then there's charitable organizations like, there's foundations that are set up just as tax breaks. So there's like tax breaks involved if you have a foundation, it's a charitable foundation that works towards good causes, like maybe climate change or maybe, you know, something along those lines, health, you know, or the global health. And then you get involved in that, and it's a nice way to avoid paying taxes. You move money around, you put money in the foundation, you kind of move it around. You know, it's these guys that are involved in charitable organizations. The thought behind it is beautiful. Like, wouldn't it be great if people donated all this money to charity and we could fix a lot of things? But what you're really doing in a lot of ways is you're pumping up the business of these charities. And then they pump up their advertising revenue, they pump up their social media profile, their campaigns, their this, their that. And then they get co-opted. They get co-opted by companies, corporations, pharmaceutical companies, different mandates and narratives that they'd like to promote. And next thing you know, charitable organizations are a part of the propaganda machine. And it's all being funded by enormous amounts of money. And most of that money does not go to the actual cause itself.
Sucks.
Have you ever seen the charts? Pull up a chart of where the money goes. Try to find out where see if there's a good chart that shows like
when I was
various like Red Cross, all these different.
I bumped into a nun once when I was going to Catholic school, and she told me that when people are looking for you for help, and you're on the side of the street and they're asking you for help, that could be Jesus in disguise. So it fucked my world up. So I started donating as a kid. The first person I donated to was the black kid with the flies on him. That they sent you the picture.
Yeah, Sally Struthers.
He wrote a letter. And
Kinnison had that bit about it.
And then I never got nothing after that. I'm writing letters. Nobody's writing me back. I want to know if the kid made it to the 6th grade. I was so fucking pissed as a kid. And then I would do the Heart Association walks. Like, that was my shit. And trust me, I skimmed off the top. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I would go to my mother's bar and I'd make them give me like $10 a mile. Come on.
Right.
You know, I would show up with like $3,000 and think I was a good kid. Finally, like after like 30, I'm like, they're gonna get light this year. I'm making $3,000 fucking dollars here.
So look at the Red Cross. What's that?
Got a situation here.
That wasn't too bad. Okay. Let's see what we got here. What percentage? Okay. So, this shows you all the money that comes in and how much of it actually goes to programs and how much of it goes to administration and how much of it goes to fundraising. So Red Cross looks pretty fucking good. Red Cross shows it's like 90% of the money goes to programs. Only 3.5% goes to administrative and 6% goes to fundraising. So this is what we donated to. Remember when we did those shows in San Diego right after the fire? And I'm like, we can't take money from these people. They just had this massive fire. Let's just donate all the money. So we donated the money to Red Cross because that seemed to be the best one. St. Jude's, 72%. And then it gets, when you start going down the line, it starts getting sketchy.
Most of these are, this one.
They're pretty good.
Wounded Warriors.
Wounded Warriors a little weird.
34% back into fundraising.
Yeah, but, you know, they still, at least 60% of it, or close to 60% of it, goes to the actual programs. What's the worst ones, though, Jim?
Yeah, the worst ones are different.
This is a different chart. I want to see the worst ones. Those are good ones. Red Cross has always been thought of as one of the best ones in terms of the amount of money that actually goes to the cause.
Down to my last few rounds. Got enemies closing in fast.
Do they have American ones? Or worldwide ones? Let's see that one.
You don't seem to understand. I'm trained for this.
That just shows what people are spending on. The worst in terms of the amount of money that goes towards the cause. The top 10 worst charities. It says Kids Wish Network is number 1. Disabled police officers. 4.4% goes to program expenses. And 94% goes to professional fundraising fees. That's crazy. Disabled police officers counseling center. 94% of it goes to fundraising fees? That's bonkers.
Gun's empty.
New Jersey. Right away, you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
I see what's going on. Look at the Cancer Survivors Fund. Hey, they survived. That's what they get. 9% goes to programs. 87% goes to fundraising.
And they also, I think a lot of times they make their name something close to, like, the good one. Like, there's probably a really good firefighters foundation that's not.
Right. And they call themselves the Firefighters Charitable Foundation. Only 7% goes to the program. 85% goes to professional fundraising fees. What does that even mean? Professional fundraising fees. But a lot of them are like that. But you got to also think, if you're going to run a charity, you got to pay people something. Kids Wish Network. Look at this. They raised $127 million. They paid the solicitors $109 million. And they spent percentage on direct cash aid to the actual kids is 2.5%. 2.5%. Look at the Cancer Fund of America. Less than 1% went to the actual thing. Direct cash aid. But when this is direct cash aid and paid to solicitors, who's the solicitors? Who counts as a solicitor there? Does that mean paid to the organization? And then they only pay out that much to the people?
Not today.
Overhead. It's overhead. It's everything, right? Yeah, so it's mostly a scam. Look at the fucking International Union of Police Associations. Look at that one.
That's the reason I quit.
0.5%.
That's why I quit.
That's crazy.
I worked for the cops. That's when I found out. 3 years I worked for the cops. Doing donations on the phone after I got arrested. I started in Boulder. And when I went to Seattle, I did it there. And then up in Seattle, I found out what the cops were getting. I'm done. I'm done. You give me $50, I'm giving you a sticker for the back of your cars. When you get pulled over, they know
Yeah.
that you donate. And these guys are showing up in Maseratis every day. The two owners. And I'm like, fuck you.
It's like the thing in LA with the homeless. You know, Coleon Noir sent me hit to that. He told me they were getting like 6-figure salaries. I'm like, no way. And some of them are making $240 grand a year.
Yeah, no.
Taking care of the homeless.
Yeah.
That is not being taken care of.
No,
They're not
no.
doing anything about it.
No.
they have to keep the business rolling too. That's the thing. Once you have 20, 30, 50, whatever people making six figures, all that money keeps coming in. You have all those mouths to feed, all those mortgages, all those people. Now you have an industry. Now you have bureaucracy, and you're never getting that back. You'd have to have some crazy dude that comes in like, who's that guy from Argentina? The guy that just became the president of Argentina with the wacky hair? That guy's amazing. He's like, everybody out! Everybody out! He kicked out everybody. He cut that budget down to nothing. Yeah, he got rid of all the bullshit. All the bullshit.
It's really crazy when I worked for the cops. I loved it. It was great. I had a great time in that office. I'd be up there smoking dope. But
with the cops?
Nah, it was like one cop there. He didn't give a fuck. I'm over here raising money for you. But even he was on the scam. It's like, come on.
Well, when you have money that's being donated, like cash that's being donated, it's gonna get moved around.
It's like, you gotta help these fucking people out, you know? And look at now, you go, when I came from Cuba, when I was a little kid, to learn how to do anything, the reason why I learned how to do anything was because of the police athletic league. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Everything. Shooting, fishing in Central Park, boxing program. You know, you shot pool. Who do you think taught me how to shoot pool?
Really? Police athletic league?
Yeah, right on there, 88 in Amsterdam.
It's a smart move.
So I was always indebted to those people. Always in my heart, because I was a Spanish kid. They took me in over there. They fingerprinted me. They take you to the precinct. You shoot a 22. They give you the target.
Oh, wow.
Give you a little thing. They give you like a little badge, you know, and you're like, And so I always wanted to work for them. Like, that was it. I always, you know, and then after I got in trouble, I'm like, you know, I owe them a debt. They were very good to me. I was the guy that fucked up. So I always worked for the cops. I always tried to get fucking people to donate for stickers or, bulletproof vests and all that shit. And then we would do comedy at the benefits in Seattle. Even though I got arrested 6 times, it never worked. They didn't fucking do anything for me.
Well, maybe you would have got arrested a lot worse.
A lot worse.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. When I found out, I was like, I'm not doing this. And now, you want to help out. Something happens, hurricane relief, and you're like, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because it's,
Right.
When you feel like shit, I'd rather see somebody give him a 20. Some guy's hungry.
Yeah.
Just go give him a 20. I'm not giving leftover food or whatever. You just give the guy 20. Make him his own decisions. If he wants to snort it or buy fentanyl, go. I don't give a fuck. It's not my problem. But I did my job.
The Red Cross seems like a good one. But also, wasn't the Red Cross one of the people that was helping people map out the way to illegally enter the U.S.? Wasn't that one of the things that the Red Cross was doing? Google that. But that could be also that the Red Cross is a legitimate charitable organization and it realizes that these people are going to do this no matter what and show them the way to do it that's safe.
Haven't got a single slug.
If they're going to do it, they're going to do it. I mean,
they're going to do it.
Showing them the way that's safe, to me, seems like,
The sooner I can
like almost an ethical thing to do. If you know that this is happening.
Not in the mood for this shit.
And then providing them aid along the way so they don't die. That seems like, the whole immigration thing is very complicated. You came from immigrants, I came from immigrants, or my grandparents were immigrants. But it's just the way they're doing it, where anybody can get through, is so wild. So the Red Cross has provided maps to migrants traveling towards the U.S. border. Now, what is their reasoning?
Haven't got many shells left.
Is the Red Cross giving maps to migrants? The map on the social media is real. Different versions have existed since at least 2018, and some have been distributed by the International Committee of the Red Cross. The ICRC is a consortium of Red Cross agencies, including the American Red Cross. The map is a part of an informational safety pamphlet provided by aid organizations, including the National Red Cross Societies, to migrants traveling to Central America. The pamphlet also includes resource information like where to find food, shelter, and medical assistance. While the map has been around since at least 2018, American Red Cross partnered with the Mexican Red Cross and others during the COVID-19 pandemic to promote these safety materials. The Red Cross logos appeared across the top of the map. The American Red Cross logo was removed in 2022 after the COVID-19 partnership expired. current pamphlet containing the map shows the current partners are the National Red Cross Societies of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Does not seek to encourage or discourage migration, but rather to contribute to mitigating the vulnerability factors of this population during the migratory route.
I
So
can
that's
live
what
with
we're
that,
saying.
Joe.
I can live with that
I can
too.
live with that. That's fair.
Yeah, that's not encouraging people to do it. That's saying they're doing it. Let's make it so at least they have like a safe way to do it.
Listen, man. This migrant situation has turned everything around. From New York City, Chicago, LA, they're everywhere, you know. And yeah, tax money, and New York's giving you $10,000 now, an ATM card, right? They give you $10,000.
Something along those lines, yeah.
You know, and I don't know. There's a lot to say. You know, look at our fucking vets, how they get treated. Look, you know, so
I'm gonna send you this, Jamie. See what's going on in Paris? They were trying to kick these dudes out of the country. They started a riot at the airport.
Who are they trying to kick out?
Illegal immigrants. I'll show you. Jamie, I just sent it to you. Yeah, and they're like, no, we're not going. They're like, you have to go. There's too many of you. Like, no, fuck you. We're not flying. And they started a riot at the airport. They were trying to deport them. And they're like, we're here.
Listen, all I remember is one thing, Joe, and I use this, and I'm not saying nothing bad about it, but how was
Look at
it?
this. Give me the volume. This is a full-on Donnybrook at the airport. They're beating up attendants. Security guys are getting fucked up. It's just wild shit, man.
So they got them over there too?
They're yeah, they have a lot of migrants in Europe. Yeah, it's basically, it happened right after the pandemic in mass. It's just massive amounts of migrants in Europe, massive amounts of migrants here. It's almost like it's on purpose. If it's not on purpose, what a coincidence.
But it seemed like there just wasn't migrants coming in. What I was telling you before was, I think I told you last time, I saw what the Mario boat lift did to my area, Hudson County. Not in 1979, but I saw it 5 years later. And then I saw what they were doing in San Francisco. When I got to San Francisco in 85, it was a huge key.
San Francisco. So this is the people that took off
from Mariel in 78, 79.
Is this when Fidel kicked them out?
Yes. He kicked out 160,000 people. We didn't have records on these people. So we didn't really know what they were about. They could just tell you, I worked in construction, you know, and they didn't know. So this is that, but 10 times.
Right.
That was 100,000 people, 200,000. This is 8 million.
Yeah.
Right? That's come through?
At least.
You're not going to feel this today. You're going to feel this 5 years from now.
Well, they could feel it real soon, depending upon who the people are and why they're here. You know, the most troubling version is sleeper cells. The most troubling version is that there's military cells that exist here. Terrorist
The Chinese
cells.
were coming in. Now they're growing weed.
Are they? Chinese?
Jamie, go to the videotape. Chinese are buying farms. You had just had somebody on here that was talking about the Chinese are buying farms here.
Yes, they're definitely buying farms.
What do you think they're doing with those fucking farms? Raising fucking sushi? No. They're fucking growing reefer.
Department of Homeland Security memo first reported by the Daily Caller received as a part of the Freedom of Information Act request said that more than 270 unlicensed cannabis cultivation sites in Maine were operated by Chinese nationals.
Who the fuck you think you're dealing with, Joey Bananas?
Wow. 275 grow-ops in Maine.
And the weed is on fire up there in New Hampshire.
Is it?
No, they say that's the best weed right now, New Hampshire.
Really? New Hampshire?
Somewhere up there, New Hampshire, Maine. They say the weed is so fucking strong.
Too many of them.
See that?
Look at that.
Yeah, they're going fucking
So
reefer.
what is the legalization of weed in Maine? Is it legal there?
Not sure.
It's
Yeah.
legal in so many states now.
Yeah. Maine, New Hampshire, I think.
how much cannabis can I possess? Adults 21 years of age or older can possess up to 2.5 ounces of a combination of cannabis, cannabis concentrate, and cannabis products, including no more than 5 grams of cannabis concentrate. How many plants can I grow? Mainers can grow cannabis for personal use. That's reasonable. Is that your phone? No. Something's ringing. That's you, bro. It's ringing like a phone. You get the old school ring on there. You pick that? Yeah. Yeah, and Jersey.
£4, for lunch. For new cheeky little pizzas from Domino's. For hot and cheesy wraps. For you. For Finn in Finance. For Sid on security. For lunching at the laptop. Lunch for just £4 at Domino's. High paws all round. Order ahead on our app.
Domino!
£4 per item. Collection and delivery. Minimum delivery spend, charges and areas may apply.
You seriously believe in voodoo dolls?
I believe in New Orleans black magic, and that's not being racial.
Yeah, it sounds
That's
like
what
it
it's
is.
called. Black magic. I'm not
It'll be
being
a
racial.
long, hard winter for you.
Okay.
Let's see.
He doesn't notice there's nothing there.
Oh.
you gotta find a...
This went right in your vagina?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Alright, how about this? Ow! Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop.
You two are bad friends.
Who are these two idiots?
A white dude and an Asian dude. You two are disgusting.
Well, you two are something.
We're bad friends.
Hey marketers, advertise.
Trot and Jack got at home to trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bandaged his knob, N-O-B, with vinegar and brown paper. After
As Bill Shankly once said, some people think football is a matter of life and death. I assure you, it's much more serious than that. The World Cup is the most watched sporting event in the world, with 32 teams battling it out for the most coveted prize in football. For the first time in history, an African nation will host the tournament this year. Seen as controversial by some, and by others as an example of soccer's ability to be progressive and inspiring. How will England fare? Which teams are the front runners? And who are the rank outsiders? To discuss the beautiful game, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, award-winning writer and graduate of the University of Warwick. Hello. And Carl Pilkington, a man with a head like a fucking football. An orange one. Alright, I'm finished. Cut!
Alright.
What are you doing?
Try to calm your guns down.
We don't do it with water.
What do you do it with? You're trying
You do it with you do it with meditation and hard drugs.
What's the problem with your gums?
When I'm stressed out, my teeth know.
What? What do you mean?
Say that again.
When I'm sort of stressed out, my gums and my teeth know before I do. It's like a weakness.
So what's up? You got a toothache then? I thought you went to the dentist.
I did the other week.
Well, what's wrong with your teeth then? It's just
I
because
don't
you're
know.
stressed.
I don't know.
Why
I
are
don't
you
know.
stressed? What have you got to be stressed about?
I don't know. That's what's weird with stress, isn't it?
No.
Your body can be stressed without you realising. That's what
No,
kills people.
stressed. No. You're stressed because you feel stressed, and then your body gets weak because you're.
No, because I'm pretty good. I never feel stressed. That's part of my problem.
It's not
I
a
am
problem.
stressed, but I don't know about it. That's
That
why
doesn't make any sense at all.
It's number one killer.
What do you never get stressed? If you don't feel stressed, how are you stressed?
But you must be stressed if your teeth
Right.
are telling
It's
you you're
like
stressed.
saying I didn't feel I had a pain, but apparently I did.
Listen.
Go on.
I was in Israel recently.
I
had a bag put over my head, chucked in the back of a van. Now the thing is, I kind of
Right.
thought, well,
It
this
wasn't a
isn't-
blind date, by the way, and he wasn't being arrested or kidnapped. It was a training thing, wasn't it, for
yes,
kidnap
but
situations?
I didn't know.
What, you didn't know they were going to do it?
No, they don't tell me anything, do they?
That's good.
So what happened then?
So the thing is, that happened. I had a panic on a little bit. Afterwards, they took the bag off. I realised everything was all right. I was calm. My body was shaking, and that's what
That
I'm saying
doesn't
to
make
you.
any sense.
My body, as far as my body was concerned, it had just been kidnapped.
Right.
But I knew I hadn't. Anyway, football.
You know the bag they put over your head? Was it like a tennis racket cover? What shape was it?
You sure they